Yes, this right back, Charlie's definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
As the big man Ian Wright just said there, they've been calling for me to get you on the platform, my guy. I've got Yardman in the building. We say, my guy, you good?
Bro, sorry, man. I know that I meant to be with you for ages, fam. But I'm
Jamaican
telling you,
time, man. It's all
sometimes.
calm. I factored it in, man. It's
No,
calm.
you know
bro.
what? To be honest, fam, that's why I can't do this thing, man. Because every time I have to do something, there's always something coming up. But you know what? I push my very best. Like I said, I have to do this because you've been shouting out to ask me to come on your thing for a long time. I said, I'm gonna make it happen tonight. If I even late, I'm gonna make it happen. But I'm
I
here.
appreciate it, man.
So people, we here. So what's going on, bro? What's
We're
going
there,
on
man.
with the team, fam? I hear you saying that, you know what? I'm not even gonna say nothing negative, nothing positive, but bro, come on, man. You know what? One of the things then that hurt me the most is when I'm speaking to people and the first thing they're gonna ask, what have you won? What have you win? And that one just lit me back. I'm just like, okay. Even the other day, even Saturday, I was speaking to KJ, and the first thing come out of his mouth, what have I won? I'm like, dude, these men are killing me, fam. Like, come on, man. But what's going on? What's going on with the team, fam? Let me know.
I'm there, man. I mean, we got 3 points against Leicester. I don't think we're winning the league. I've accepted it. I've accepted the regime. I'm just there, my guy, man. I can't lie to you. I'm waiting for the season to end, man. Obviously, I've got small hope of winning something, but those chances are minimal, my guy. Like, we need Liverpool to drop so many points. We need everyone to stay fit. We need to do our jobs. It's kind of just, we're waiting for the inevitable, innit? And it's yourself, as that stage, we're at that stage as an Arsenal fan. We start talking about next season, and then we'll be talking about the same things again and again, man. Really.
So for me, for my situation is that when it's gonna change, we can't keep on going like a wheel, just the same thing over and over and over. Like we have to change, fam, because we see this team is not. For me personally, I'm looking at this team right now, and I'm saying to myself, like people saying that Man City fall off the cliff, but I'm saying that look at our team, Saka out, yeah, and we got Avert out, and I'm looking at the team like the team is dead. It's dead. So for me personally, I think we just in the same situation as Man City. We have to rebuild. We have to
rebuild.
Thank you. So 5 years, trust the process or the process or whatever I said we could trust. And now next year, we can't talking about getting a center, a number 9, because a number 9 alone not going to solve the problem. We have to be honest. A number 9 alone ain't going to cut. We need a number 9. We need 2 number 9, because if we get one number 9 and one injury, what we're going to do? Put back up there again?
2 strikers and still have Havertz who can play up there. You really think we're going to sign 2 strikers, bro?
I don't think it will happen. I don't think it will happen. But if we serious that we want to win and win major trophy, even the Champion League, the Premier. I'm not even going to say the Champion League, because I believe that with a good team, you more easily. People might look on it and say no. But yeah, I think it's more easily to win the Champion League than to win the Premier League, because the Champion League is a one-off game. No, it's a one-off game, and if you come that day, listen, you can have 8 games in the Champion League when you reach for the last 8. Then you can have 4 or 5 games, brilliant game. Are you win the Champion League? You don't have to be the best team to win.
Can we do that this season then?
You know what? It might sound a little bit. But I believe, I was saying it to somebody, what if Mikel Arteta used the worst Arsenal Premier League team to win the Premier League? And don't get me wrong, it can happen. I'm not going to say that it cannot, but the only thing that's stopping me from thinking that it can happen is Mikel Arteta's track record of reaching the promised land and just not putting his foot over. And we see it happening 3 times in a row. Because you remember, was it 21-22 when we went to Tottenham and get beaten, and then went to Newcastle and get beaten, and we didn't finish in the top
We
four?
missed out on top four, yeah.
Yeah. So that season, it was in his hand. And not even that. I'm even going to go back to bring it back to when he come in 2019, 20. Say 20, because he come 2019, December. So at that time, we could have been in the Champions League because mathematically we could have been there, getting the Champions League. We went to Brighton. I see what happened at Brighton with Mope and Leno. And from that, it just... Huh?
Don't remind me, man.
You're
triggering PTSD, man. I remember exactly what you're talking about.
From that, you see, and at that stage, we could have finished in the Champions League position, but we finished 8th. You understand? So we see people, when I'm speaking about Mikel Arteta, say he's not going to do it. This is the thing that I look at. It would have been a different situation, you know what? If the board wasn't backing him, and this guy said, listen, I need such and such player to get me over the line, and we see we go as close as possible. But if the manager, they just have his way to get those players come in, and the board just give him the money to spend, get those players, we could have said, raw, this manager can work miracle. Because look what he's doing with that team that is, not getting any money and just using like shoestring and getting.
Do you think he's working
far.
miracles now, being devil's advocate?
Nah.
We are second. We lost in 50. We got 2 losses. I got to ask these questions, bro, because some would say
because if Chelsea was if Chelsea was playing the way they were playing back in November, them time, when they was in the second at one point, Chelsea was second, and their manager come out and said they're not in the competition. The words that he said that they're not title contender, and from that they just fall off the rail. Now, if Man City was even Man City was even playing like half the Man City that we know, then really and truly, I'm looking at it that we wouldn't be in second. Because we in second, not because that we are playing good. We are in second because other teams macking up. That's why we're in second, really and truly. If you look at it, that's why we're in second. Now, if you look at Man City, I believe where Man City people coming out and talking about Man City for, I believe those players, they do their job. They for the last 4 years, they're in every single competition to the latter end. You understand? And those players, they work. So 4 years time, if they're tired and everybody getting a bit older, then this was coming.
Really in the bank.
Yeah, you understand. Thank you. They got, and it just takes a little for Man City to just click again, and it starts to happen again. And look, my guy, they just come and score. Actually, they play well. I was surprised. I know I'm going on to Man City, but I was surprised to see the way they play Real Madrid. They play really well.
We could have dealt with, man.
Yeah, I understand. So look, give and take from. I don't believe is a given that we there and as Mikel Arteta managerial magic while we're there. We're just there because I don't think we're there on merit. Personally, I don't think we're there on merit.
You got to win the games. Being devil's advocate, you got to win the games to be second.
Yes, we got to win the game, but if you look and see, come on, we should have been at minimum 2-3 points behind Liverpool right now. We go to Brighton, we drop points at Brighton. When Liverpool drop points, we never expect Manchester United to take points off Liverpool, and it happened. Aston Villa leading 2-0, come back on 2-2. Yeah, that's 4 points. Could have easily be 4 points there. Easy, and then again, we
lost against Liverpool as well, man. We didn't hold on to the lead against them. Chelsea,
thank you.
Arguably, there's been many times we've dropped dumb points.
Fulham again.
We didn't even turn up against Newcastle. That's one of the worst league performances.
That's one of the. I'm telling you. So if you look at it, if other team was playing, then we wouldn't be there. And how long we're gonna give Mikel Arteta to say, you know what, this is the man gonna bring us glory? How long we're gonna sit there and wait and wait and wait? How long? What's going to happen? Like, they back him. They give this guy money to spend. This guy come in and this guy actually do what he want to do. You understand? He come in and he get rid of player. And if you look at it, the guy come in, we'd have 4 striker. Balogun, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Eddie and Nketiah. and him get rid of all four of them. He not even, you know what? One of the worst things, you not even see what Balogun can do in the Premier League. Yeah, that's it. You never look at him, and
He just didn't
you
fancy
get
him,
rid
man. He just
of
wanted to make money on him quickly.
yeah, and you get rid of all of them, and you go and get Jesus, who you know when this guy is going to get injured because we've seen his track record back at Man City that this guy is an injury prone guy. He will get injured, and when he get injured, it's all for long. But you only replace us with half a striker because different thing. No disrespect to Jesus, it's like a half a striker, fam. Come on, because no season give us a full
You
season.
don't get them 20
So,
plus goals as decent as he is,
yeah,
man. Them
and
first
then
six
again,
goals were good, but yeah.
did we get 20 plus goal from Jesus since him come?
Nah.
Did he score? Thank you very much. So we could, with all due respect, we could say that's a half a striker. You understand?
Fair enough. It's
No,
hard, but yeah, fair enough. You're right.
yeah, no, but be honest, we're not disrespecting Jesus because he
No,
never by
it's the
himself to
reality of
Arsenal.
it.
Yeah, so if you look at it, so people looking at this guy on by say one striker, one since they've been there going 5 years then, one striker, one, and then they buy a false nine. And then you got people going to look and tell me that, oh, look at him get he get the team with man scoring, man and Salah up there for Premier League golden boots. You get a striker who was up there with Salah, and then time Salah was firing, fam. Salah was firing,
You definitely
and
need a
you
number
get
nine.
man like thank you. You get man like Abba who was scoring goal. I mean, for me, for a manager, and I said this all the time, just like a scratch record for a manager if you said you're managing, you have to learn to manage every individual because everybody have their own personality and you have a 24-man squad, they have 24 different mindsets. You understand? So you have to come in and get them on board with you. And that's where your managerial career experience come in. Mikel didn't have any. He didn't have any at all. So he just coming up being a back of a assistant manager where Pep would just say something to him. You understand? He didn't really have. We don't know, or we just saying he didn't really have much say. You
Well,
understand?
this team, he didn't have much authority at City, to be fair. This is
Yeah,
where
you
he's now
didn't.
manager in his own right or head coach or whatever.
Okay. And so, and you come to a team like Arsenal, and that's what I say to people like, come on, Arsenal is not a Tottenham or a Newcastle or a team like that who don't win anything. And you know, you're bringing a young manager to come in, and then again, Arsenal doesn't really sack manager. You understand? Unai Emery was the quickest manager we have through the
And it took
door.
a lot for him to get
Come
sacked,
on.
actually, as
And
well.
yeah, I take a lot. And then again, looking back, and after all of my, and I was one of them, try to own out the guy. And looking back, I'm saying like raw, Unai Emery is I would even say he's a better manager than Mikel Arteta. He's nowhere. Mikel Arteta is nowhere near. Is in regarding Unai Emery. Unai Emery is way above Mikel Arteta
I don't
in
think Arteta
managing.
was a better fit for Arsenal than Emery was for Arsenal.
Then the problem with Unai Emery was he couldn't speak English properly. Yeah, and Unai Emery didn't understand the Premier League. He believed that he could have outscored. So if you score three, we can score four, and that doesn't work in the Premier
That's not
League. And that
sustainable,
was the
man.
mentality. Yeah, and then he went away. We sacked him. He went back to Spain.
Thank
Was
you.
it
He
Spain? He
went back
went
to
to
Spain. Yeah, he went Villarreal, I think. I'm sure he went
Villarreal, and
He
then he
beat
go back
Arsenal
to
in Europa League.
PSG.
He beat Arteta in
Yeah,
it.
yeah. He went to Villarreal and went back, and then from Villarreal, PSG, and then from PSG back to Aston Villa.
He's at Villa, yeah, he's
Now,
back in England.
so when you look at it, yeah, he actually go back and he learn. Like, okay, sit down and study the Premier League. I said, okay, things what you can do from what you can't do in the Premier League. And then when he take over Aston Villa, he take over Aston Villa from Steve Gerrard at what 17? Aston Villa were 17 to the Premier League, and he
Do you
took
not
it
think
over.
Emery is
And look at
better at
him.
them underdog teams, though, rather than Arsenal, where there's some expectation?
You know what? I was thinking. Oh, sorry. I was thinking
Good, man.
about. I was thinking about that, and I was saying to myself, why we don't manage our club doesn't give the manager like who managing the lower team with shoestring budget. Why we don't give them the opportunity and give them the chance like what we give to Mikel Arteta? Not just saying um, Arsenal, just saying overall, the big 6, 7, 8 club. Then why we don't give those managers a chance? Because I believe if manager have the backing of the board, they back them and give them the time, I believe manager like them, they can do things. So I don't believe that Unai Emery only can manage the lower team and that's what he can do. I believe that if you give him the time, Aston Villa giving it to him, and the money they're giving it
But
to
did he
him,
deserve the
then
time at Arsenal? Because I hear you, and we're going to talk about Arteta, but Emery stunk up the place as well, man. I'm not going to lie to
no,
you.
but
It was
but
stinky.
Emery bring us to a Europa League
He
final.
did,
We
and the
get
players
done
let
in
him down. He did.
Baku. We get done in Baku by Chelsea, but he did bring us there.
He did get us
And
there.
then if my mind serves right, it was like 21, 22 unbeaten. Most of them was a draw, but he bring so you can see the potential there, but the toxic that was coming up when Wenger left, and the way Wenger left, and we just expect bringing in a manager, we're just gonna bam and just get there. That's where we were stupid. We should just be a bit more patient. And if I believe, and if we were a bit more patient with Unai Emery, I believe it would be a different scenarios, given maybe another year then. Yeah. I believe it will be a different scenarios. So yeah, we should have backed him. And I can hold up my hand and come out now. I said, yeah, we should have backed him because there's no way. I know Robbie jump up and say, oh, Mikel Arteta is a better manager than Unai Emery. Never, never, ever. Because wherever you go from, whatever job you're going to look in the United Kingdom, they're going to ask you for your CV, and that's what people look at. Your CV. Don't tell me that Mikel Arteta just come into managerial. I don't care. I don't care. Your CV tell what the company want to see. This man is the king of. Huh?
It does show your history. It does show you. It shows your body of work essentially.
Yeah, but that's what everybody want to see. This is why you go out there. Why people go out there and get paid?
Because of his CV.
Thank you. Why people go out there and get Jose Marino? It's CV.
The same thing.
You don't be a stupid manager to go and coach Real Madrid. You understand? So
true.
You have to look at that. You understand? And I just believe that we as fans have to just stand up now and just let the club know, because the club is backing Mikel Arteta. I don't believe when people come out and say the club did back him in the January transfer window. If you listen to the guy properly, you hear what the guy said. The guy stated that he never see anybody, the club never see anybody to fit or to step up or to whatever word they want to use. They never see. So that tell me it wasn't the board wasn't backing him, because Edu left. So who was the football director? Who was the one who, you understand?
Yeah,
so,
we ain't got a sporting director. That's our madness.
Yeah. So why is it that Mikel Arteta? And then again, I hear people saying that, oh, he was anticipating to see what's going to happen, but you never ever try to win a Premier League with one striker, but like not even a striker, a false nine. You never try that. Don't try that, because you know that the best player up front is out. Is that Saka? Yeah, he's out. I know an arm swing doesn't take a minute or two to come back. An arm swing gonna take way more than that. So you have to understand that. You know what? You need to do better. Go out there, get a striker, and let's kick on. And for his mistake that he made, didn't go out there and get a striker, it's costing us now. And I just believe this is Mikel Arteta saying, rub him on and saying, okay, we got no striker, Saka out, and Kai Havertz out, so nobody can blame me now. Next season, I'm going back again.
Reckon that? Like, you reckon he didn't ask the board for players, like, considering the situation we're in, like?
All right then. So you explain to me and tell me, Arsenal FC is not in any financial situation where they can't spend. So that's one. Yeah, be real. Two, if you look, Mikel Arteta come create history to be the first manager to sign a 100 million plus player.
Man,
are you gonna sit there? Are you gonna sit there and tell me that the board did not back him?
I think it's a mess from both of them, if I'm honest with you. I think it's a mess from everyone in the summer and January, man.
No, man, don't blame the board. The board have nothing to do with it, man. Don't blame the board. All right, then, can you repeat what Mikel Arteta said in the press conference when the January transfer window closed?
About they're working hard and he's got the best owners or something like that. Is that what you're referring to?
But did any time at all Mikel Arteta come out and make it seems like the board wasn't backing him?
Yeah, but is he gonna do that? Are you gonna do that to the people that pay you? Really? Are you gonna get on? Are you gonna say that? Like,
okay, then. So who's gonna get thrown at the bus? If Mikel Arteta come out, this is why I said I need manager like
Conte.
Conte.
Yeah,
I
because
need
he'll come
manager.
out and throw people under the bus. But me and you both know the owners don't want someone like that, though, man.
I care zero what people want to say. Tomorrow morning, I will go to a Falabachi and I will go and get Jose Mourinho. Because if we give him a 3 years, yeah, he will win us a trophy.
Probably. You really think Jose would work here?
Of course he will. Jose don't care.
Bro. I think any of the managers would want to leave, bro, because they get pissed off with the board. That's where I agree with you in that. I think it's a two-way street. Like, I think they will get bored. They'll get pissed off. Because they wouldn't go for January right now. They wouldn't go for that.
I cannot see. I don't know. I cannot see all people blaming the board.
I'm blaming everyone.
No, but you can't blame the board because we see that the board give Mikel Arteta the club just like what they do to Wenger. They're giving the club to run it. Remember,
that's why I'm blaming everyone, because it's a two-way street.
No.
He knows he's not going to get any real pressure, and the board don't. Me and you both know the board don't want to win no prems. Right or wrongly, they don't. They don't, bro. Look at the summer and look at the January. They don't want to win.
The only thing I would blame the board for is not putting the pressure on him. The only thing I would blame the board. We can't blame the board for not backing him. Yeah, we cannot blame the board. They back him. We see that. He get money to spend, and if you look at the team right now, yeah, be honest. We could say the two best. Who's the two best player? If you pick out only two player in the squad right now, which two? Overall, who's the two players?
To be fair, there's a couple. I would say Saka, who
no. We just need two. Just two. Just give me two. The best two player.
Saka and Gabriel Magalhaes.
Right now?
Yeah, Magalhaes. You see what he's doing every week for us? He's been amazing.
Okay, then. So I believe it's Saka and William Saliba. I know that Gabriel scoring goal, and yes, but Gabriel Gabriel was a Mikel Arteta buy. So all right, then the three best player is Saka, Gabriel, and William Saliba. Yeah, Gabriel was Mikel Arteta buy. But if you look at it, take out them three players out of the team. We could play division. We could play the Premiership. We're good as getting relegated. Look at Declan Rice. When Declan Rice came in the Premier League 2 seasons ago, yeah, he was on par with Rodri. You remember? No, he's not. Rodri is not there. Gravenberch is really better than he's playing. We're talking about on farm this season. Yeah, we're not talking about overall. Gravenberch is better than him. Caicedo, Lavia, right now is on par with Declan Rice.
I don't know about them two.
No, Lavia. Lavia's injured. Yeah, Caicedo right now is better than Declan Rice. Even though Chelsea is playing,
I hear it.
All right, then you can disagree. But what I'm saying to you, even though Chelsea is not playing good, yeah, Caicedo is a very, very, very good midfielder.
No, he's a baller. We should have signed him in that. What was it? A couple years ago in January, we tried to get him. I think he was the one who cost 105. Brightly didn't want something mad.
Chelsea paid that. We didn't pay. But Lavia, we couldn't even get Lavia from Southampton as well.
I agree with that. We should have done the summer we got right. I wanted him.
So if you look at it, we're gonna rebuild again. Are we gonna sit there and say that Mikel Arteta will get another 2-3 year contract again? Are we gonna sit there for the next 2 years suffering? Because that's how we're doing, suffering. Look at the stinker what they go to Newcastle and do in the FA Cup. They never ever come out a neutral. They did not come out a neutral. They didn't look at the team as bad as it is. Look what Tottenham went and do.
Can't lie, they didn't fight. I'm with you with that. They showed no fight at St. James's Park in the second.
No fight, because why? You know why? Everybody, mind and soul, under the shell of their body was at the St. James's Park. Everything else was in Dubai. Everything else was just on Dubai. You
I
understand?
hear it. That's
They
what a
put,
lot of our fans have been saying, to be fair.
yeah, they put on that stinker, and if they put on the stinker, okay, we don't care. After Dubai, and they left we the fans to join in our sorrows. It's not right.
I can't
It's not
disagree
right.
with that because it did feel like that to a
William
slight degree.
William Saliba right now looking like a shadow of last season. Yeah,
But is that
at
Arteta's fault?
times,
That is with Saliba.
yes, because you know why I say I blame Arteta. As a manager, you're supposed to make the player them better. Gravenberg underneath Jurgen Klopp, yeah, wasn't getting any game. Yeah, nobody know about Gravenberg. Yeah, honestly, come in. Look at Gravenberg now.
But that's not fair though, man. Because I'm just being devil's advocate. Like Saka, Odegaard, Saliba when he returned, Partey at the moment.
Mhm.
There's been a couple of players that have
Partey has been
excelled
playing
under
good.
Arteta, yeah?
Partey has been playing good. We must admit
Saka's
to
getting
that.
better and better.
Yeah.
Ethan
All right
is
then.
doing his thing. Nelly's there.
Look at
I'm just being devil's advocate because, like,
all right then. Look at Martinelli. No
yeah,
progress in Martinelli.
yeah, no, he's played no. But how far does that go with the manager though? Because he had his best goal scoring season under Arteta. Like, if a player starts
All
stinking
right.
up the place, whose fault is it?
But when you having best goal scoring under Arteta last
2022,
season,
23, a long time ago.
okay then. Who was playing on the left?
Trossard and him
No,
really. Who
no.
you
Left back. Who was playing left back at the time?
Zinchenko.
No.
Who?
No, last season was the 2 seasons ago. The Kieran Tierney was playing there when he having best goal season. When he having best.
Oh, that was Zinni. I'm sure that was Zinni. When he's 2022, 23.
No,
I'm sure it was Zinchenko. It was Gabriel
no,
Jesus' first season,
no.
man.
It's,
I think
it's
it was
Kieran.
Zinni.
No, it's Kieran Tierney was playing there
Fair
because
enough.
he was getting. He was getting out then. Even if I'm slipping up him up with Zinchenko and Kieran Tierney, yeah, I know when Kieran Tierney play with Martinelli, it is Martinelli is a different player because Kieran Tierney actually help him out. So Martinelli love go down the byline. Kieran Tierney will overlap, yeah, and it give Martinelli more. Kieran Tierney like to put ball in the box. So them time we were all right. Last season Kieran Tierney wasn't there, yeah. Gabriel scored a goal, but the season before that he did score again. He scored Zinchenko and scored Kieran Tierney. You understand? But if you look on how Gabriel Martinelli play with Kieran Tierney, yeah, he's playing a different now. Gabriel dribbled him head down. Now,
He has
you
to
as
go
a
back
manager,
as well.
yeah, you as a manager, remember he's still young. He's still a young at the time. He's still young. 3 seasons ago, he's still young. What 24, 20,
Even
23?
even younger than he's probably that now.
No, no,
So
no. Yeah, it's probably that now. It was about 20, 21.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
like maybe
because I
19, 20.
remember him play in the Olympic for the under 23 for
Yeah,
Brazil, innit?
yeah. He was a young boy
Yeah,
them
something like
times.
that. I believe, yeah. So it is the manager to coach him and to get them what I call it now, those nasty attitude out of him. Because that's why we have a manager, that's why we have a coach. When the player them is not doing the things that they're not supposed to be doing on the training pitch, you are training them, get that out of him. When Gabriel get the ball, in turning it back. No, as a manager, you tell him, listen, if you do that again, you're not playing. You
That's a fair
understand?
point. That's a fair point.
The manager have to do it. The manager have to help him out. Mikel Arteta is not helping Martinelli out. You understand? So for me, we have to with every then Martinelli. I just say about Martinelli. Look at Declan Rice.
Mm.
Would you say Declan Rice is progressing in Arsenal?
At this moment in time, I think he looks all right as an 8. I prefer him to be a 6. I don't really feel it's the Declan Rice I saw of the first season, and that's where I don't think Arteta is blameless because I don't feel we've had a long-term partner for Declan Rice. He's obviously learning the new role, and it's like we've taken someone that's known for playing in a certain thing, and they're making him do something different, and we still ain't replaced Granit Xhaka. That's why I think Arteta does have faults. I definitely feel he's got faults, and I hear you with the Martinelli thing. I slightly differ because. How much? What if we're not flies on the wall here? But what if he's telling Martinelli what to do and he's not doing it? Like you're taking a man to the water, but he's refusing to drink. I think my thing with Arteta is we've needed to upgrade on Martinelli, demote him to the bench. You said it earlier. We need a striker. We need a centre mid. I therefore feel Arteta's got serious faults. But and you said it earlier as well. For me, big up you for the rebuild, Arteta. But getting over the line, if we were to look at, you won the FA Cup, but all the semi-finals, the quarterfinals, all that kind of stuff, getting over the line. You ain't done it, innit? So you haven't done it. That's my issues with Arteta. But you really think he ain't done nothing good for the team at all? Because we are second. We ain't lost in 15 games. We've got 2 defeats this season. Like, is he really that bad? I'm not saying he's like to stay in that. I'm just asking, is he really that bad for us?
Okay, let's answer that question for you. So we're going back again. Unai Emery take us to a final in the Europa League. Unai Emery was 22, 21 unbeaten in the Premier League. Whether most of that was a draw, he was 21 unbeaten. Are we saying on that now?
Games in that as well, to be fair.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Just like
no, you're right. He did do it.
Just like a lot of people state that the invincible we get a lot of draw, yeah, with that unbeaten Premier League season. There's a lot of draw. Was a 13 draw in it?
Yeah, we had a ridiculous amount of draws. You're right on that.
So, but guess what? We win the Premier League, so we can always talk about it. If we didn't go on and win the Premier League, nobody would talk about it. So we cannot talk about when we're gonna. All right, then. I'm just looking, and I'm not being unfair. Like, what is it that Mikel Arteta done?
I don't think you've been unfair.
What is it that Mikel Arteta done and make Arsenal better? Because we can't say, oh, we are second, we come second last season, we come second this season. We have been doing that. Arsenal, let I tell you, Arsenal is the only team to finish second the most in the Premier League. So we've been doing that. We used to that. You understand? We finished second 6 times. Yeah? 4 underneath Wenger and 2 underneath Mikel Arteta. So we are not used to not finishing second.
We're not used to second place, unfortunately.
So when people are gonna say that, oh, we fight the best team, Man City, and what is it that Mikel Arteta really do? What is it? What is if Mikel Arteta left tomorrow morning? What is it that we're gonna miss? Be honest. What is it that we're gonna miss?
I wouldn't say I'd miss anything. Like I said, I commend him for getting us to this point. But if you're the guy to get us over the line, you haven't done it. So that's where, for me, everything is up for debate. If you're going to stay, you're going to stay. But if there was an option to upgrade on a manager, I have to be open to that because he hasn't earned that. What would I call it? Like that credit in the bank with me, like me to back you regardless. Because I do one thing I agree with you on. People like to say Mikel Arteta is a title winning coach. You can't be a title winning coach if you've never won a title. It's like saying it's like saying you're a good chef and you can't wash chicken or do nothing. It does not make sense. And that's where I look at with Arteta. I like all of the things you're doing. I think you shoot yourself in the foot. But I think now it's about getting over the line. Every time we don't get there, I think there's the big issue. Now I look at the board, though, because I genuinely think there's times he could have been sacked. I think a board doesn't let you have the summer window. It doesn't let you have the January window. And come on, man, me and you both know Cronkies don't want to win. Yeah, they've given him money, but they don't really want to win. They're not going to get over the line. The minute we've got back in the Champions League, they're kind of cool. And then when I look at it, bro, it's like, Arteta, right, whether I rate him or don't rate him, yeah, he signed a new deal. He ain't going nowhere. The Cronkies bought this club in, 2018 properly? They're not going anywhere. So it's like, how do we work around this, bro? Like, how do we get around this and do something within the remit?
Boy, like I said, it's only if we just be serious and said enough is enough and we need a different direction because we're going back to a rebuild again.
Rebuild though, bro. Like, how much is it? Like, what do you mean by rebuild? Like, is that like a whole new squad? What is that?
We need a second keeper.
100%.
We see what my guy do.
I never want to see that brother again. I can't like Neto. Forget it.
We see what Neto do. Yeah. We see what Neto do.
Shit.
Yeah. We need a Declan Rice need to go back as a 5 or 6. No further.
I hear that.
You need to do that. Yeah. We still need a creative midfielder with Odegaard. Yeah. We need striker. We need somebody to replace Saka. So you're talking about 5 players there. Straight up the line. Then if William Saliba or Gabriel get injured, yeah, we're gonna need a replacement for them because who is there? Kibia? Who else is there? We're gonna put Timber there or last time Robbie argued about
you're gonna have to do them. I don't want to see Kibia.
Yeah, so we still need so if you look straight up from the keeper, defense, midfield, creative midfielder, yeah, winger, right wing, and number 9.
You don't reckon we need more? Because we've got Ethan now. You could do that with Saka. I'm not really convinced with Trossard, Martinelli, and the left-hand side, if I'm honest with you.
I think, well, Martinelli is going to stay, but I think Trossard going to go off to
Saudi,
Qatar.
innit?
Saudi. I think Trossard going to go. I say Qatar, Saudi. So, yeah, you can say that. Yeah. But we need at least 5 players if we're going to challenge, because look at it. Man City going to come stronger next season.
They've already started their spending, in it. Really, they look what
My
they did in January.
My fear, if Liverpool go on and win this, Liverpool going to strengthen. Remember, they haven't strengthened this year. Liverpool, what's his name?
Chiesa.
Chiesa. That's
And he
the only
barely
player
plays.
they buy, and he not even play. Thank you. When we're playing the cup in the cup game, that's the only time we play. So Liverpool going to have money to spend. So they're going to strengthen. And if they win the Premier League and strengthen the 2-3 more players, they're going to be a force to reckon with. Yeah. You look at Man City. I said already they're going to strengthen. Yeah. We don't know what Amaral going to bring to Manchester United. We don't know what's going to bring. He's going to bring. They maybe back him in the summer because he decided not to spend in January because he wanted to do it in the summer. What if Manchester United come up better?
And you got Chelsea as well.
You got Chelsea as well. At some point in time, they're going to kick on. At some point, they are got Chelsea play them. All of them were under 23.
And look at the money that they're spending as well, man.
And look at the money and they're still going to strengthen. They're still going to. So we can't just sit back and think, oh, next season we're going to be better, because other teams going to get better. So where does it stop? We have to get a manager who can come in, just like our honest lot who come in and take these crap of players and say, okay, then I can make it better. We got to do that. Who the manager is? The manager is out there.
Wait, who would you go?
Yes, Alonso is out there. Yeah, I hear that him bucking up.
I'm on Alonso.
Yeah. Xavi's out there.
I don't know if he'll bang for us though, man. I like him, but I'm convinced with Xabi Alonso. I don't know if it's Xavi.
Then again, is the body that the player them is looking at. When they're looking in the dressing the manager, what he won as a player and all he is as a player, you have to look at that. You understand? Even Zidane is out there. So when people make it seem like there's nobody, who would tell anybody when honestly in the over there in Dutch league, yeah? Anybody say, oh, honestly coming to Liverpool or is not going to do nothing? Look at this. And he doesn't get any new player. The same team that if people are going to say, oh, Klopp leave a very good team, but Klopp finished third in that team. Whether or not they fall off the rail when he come out and said, yeah, whether or not, and like I said, whether or not they fall off the rail when he come out and said he's going to leave the club, we don't know. But they finished third. That's cannot erase. You understand? That's team finished third. Now they are clearly first, 7 points, 2.5 game ahead. You understand? Lose only 1 game and draw a couple. So people gonna look and say, oh, who you gonna get? I hear people say something like, who you gonna get better than Mikel Arteta? And I'm thinking to myself,
I don't agree with that. I don't know about that because it's not like he's won a Prem or a Champs or anything like that. I do think he's a good coach. I do think he's done good for us. But for me, as I said at the start of this yard, man, for me, it's about getting over the line now. The rebuild, one love for that. Whatever I've got to say about you getting rid of Aubameyang, whatever, we finish second. I do think there's a good base here. If we just add on to this quality and get someone, if it's not him, to get over the line, I'm on that. But like this comment, like, do you not feel Arteta's done anything good for us? Because it says we hit 89 points with Kai as a main striker, an actual prolific striker, we would have won the league. Like, has he done nothing good for you? Like, or is it just more bad than good? Like, surely he gets some credit for something.
So, but I asked you what you could have tell me, but you're asking me. And
what did you ask me? What did you ask me?
I asked you to tell me what one good. Getting 89 doesn't mean nothing. Liverpool get 99.
No, that's where I'm with you. My thing is,
so
it's about getting over the line,
about
winning something.
Yes. So what is the all right then? So what is the good thing that I see Mikel Arteta do? Is come in and buy a player for over 100 million.
Yeah,
That's the only thing.
that's harsh, man. That's harsh. I'm not here to defend him or saying he's the
Alright,
best.
what's a
ever.
good thing? Alright, you tell me what's a good thing then. Drag back my memory then, because maybe because I'm an Arteta out fan so much, then maybe I'm blind.
You're an Arsenal fan, man. You're allowed to be in out. I do think some people, not me, but some people are more loyal to Arteta than the actual club. But for me, I think I do like a lot of what he's done from a coaching aspect. You know,
Like
especially
what? Like what?
the defending, the fact, you know, the set pieces, you know, the low blocks.
The set pieces is not in. The set piece is not in.
Come on, Yard, man. He's employed the person, bro. He's employed. Okay, cool. It's part of his coaching stuff, bro. Come on. He's got the coaching stuff. Either way, we're now all right at that. I think we're quote unquote competitive against the top 6. I think some of these young players have really gone off to do well. Whatever you did with Saliba, I don't know, but we've now got a good partnership there. I like some of the recruits. Now, where I'm with you is it's like Arteta does half of the job, and then he like I said, I like all of that. He's done half of the job. But where it comes to getting a striker, getting a winger, like you said earlier, getting more out of certain players, this is now where I'm like, oh, Arteta, I don't know. I personally believe you've got us to a point now. Maybe a next man comes in and we're over that line now. Other than that, I do think he's done stuff, bro. Come on, man. You're at the games every. You really think that? Come on, bro.
You see, this is like
pumped up during the Emirates era against in the top 6. He's made us okay at that, surely.
This is like you have a tech company. And you know that Elon Musk company is the best tech company, and you bring in a manager to say, okay, then I want you to take my company above Elon Musk. Here's the money. Get the machinery that you need. Get the technology that you need. Yeah, and you spend that money, and then you come back after 2 years and look, and you still stay like, oh, the machine is there. But we're still not the best. Elon Musk is still making more billions more than us every year. What are you going to do? Are you not going to sack him?
That's where I'm with you. It's like I have to review your position. One love for taking off from 8th to now, but I don't know if you're the guy. But we know the Cronkies are not going to sack you.
But hold on. One love to take us from 8?
Yeah, one love for that.
All right, stop.
You don't get credit for it, but one love for that. You've helped us, bro.
No. Stop. Before, all right then, put it this way. Before Mikel Arteta take over 2019, yeah, you'd have to go back in the 70s or the 60s to remember Arsenal finished 8th.
Yeah.
So it's not that we were a club that finished in 8 all the time, 9, 7, and then he come and take it off the second.
Twice. That's my point. Like, some of it's a lot of it was inherited. You got us back to second. You've got us from 8th to 2nd, bro. Like a lot of it is your fault and some of it's inherited. One love for that. We're now second. Can you get us over the line? Cuz is the next question for me. Like if you can't do that, then he needs to leave. That's where I'm with you. If he can't do that, he needs to leave. But he did come on.
You don't name Deluded for no reason. Trust me.
Look at this guy.
You're more than deluded, fam. You're more than deluded. So hold on. Remember, the first part of the conversation was start. I said to you that the guy come 2019, yeah, Corona, everything stopped. Then when we start back, yeah, we have we in our hand we could finish in the top 4, and Mikel Arteta make us finish 8th. That was the lowest for
Yard man. I'm not saying he's not blameless. I'm not one of them guys.
No, but you say that, but what you're saying that you're talking like, oh, he take us out from 8 to
nah. That's not what I said, bro. I said we had
all right, then tell me
8s. Yeah, I said we had 8
right,
finishes.
If you tell me 2 good,
so one love for whatever you did to get us second. I want to win the race now. If you're not the man that can help us, he needs to go. That's where I'm with.
Right, so tell me 2 things that you can say, okay, Mikel Arteta do for Arsenal, where you can see from before during Wenger stage, during Wenger tenure at the club, that wasn't happening. What have you seen Mikel Arteta done that you haven't seen Wenger done?
But come on, man. He's not Arsene Wenger. The only commonalities I see,
but you're saying
he looks like a lot. No, that's why I agree with you, because I think if you remember the last couple of years with Mikel with Arsene Wenger, where we hounded a man out to leave, yeah, it's exactly the same as that at best. That's why I asked you at the start, yeah. Can we really do anything with the Cronkies?
But
because they're top 4. And Arteta's not getting sacked until that doesn't happen.
But since the Super League, You see, when Kroenke, the father, stepped down and give Josh the day-to-day running of the club, we see the turnaround.
But
Yeah.
do you really believe that, though? Do you really think Josh is doing the day-to-day, or he's just a face now, man? Because he's still got Tim
Well,
Lewis and all these lawyers.
but whether he's the day-to-day, yes or no, we know that he's the man. He's not the father. It's Josh.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
during that time,
where you going with it, though? Like,
but
where
during
you
that
going with it?
time, hold on. During that time, we can't say that the Kroenke hasn't stepped up. I remember when Turkish used to bash them every day, the Kroenke out, the Kroenke out. They step up and they give
still need to go,
Mikel
though, man.
Arteta the money to spend.
But that's where I agree. I'm not one of them fans that's gonna do the kumbaya thing. I think it's like me, you, and two other people. Like, let's say you're Edu, I'm Arteta, someone else is the Cronkies. We all go and do a crime. For me, all your fingerprints are there. Like, all of them can go, in my opinion, bro. I'm not here to defend Arteta. I don't think he's defenseless. I think the Cronkies need to go, and I think you're right. That's why I always tell fans, and you defo speak to them, where they like Arteta apologists. That's where I speak to fans. You can't demonize the Cronkies all the time. They have spent money. He's been allowed goalkeepers and left backs and cutting up contracts and this and that. And that's why I said, Arteta, one love for what you've done. You've taken us second. Maybe a next man can come in and a bit more experience and get us over the line. Or if we're going to sit here and say the Cronkies are going to do things a certain way, and me and you both know they're not selling the club, they're not leaving. Let's get someone that within that remit and that culture can get us over the line. That's where I'm at with Arteta. You've got us here. Like some people always say, he's like our Brendan Rodgers. That could be a thing. Whether it's Xabi Alonso, as you said, Carlo, Conte. I just want Arsenal to get over the line now. Like, we are so close. Like, I can't not say he hasn't got a point in us. 15 games unbeaten, second, top 6 record, all of that. All of that stuff's great. But now it's got to mean something. We've got to win something, bro. And it's the last 3 years now. We're doing a lot of explaining. Everybody sat here and told me when City fall off, we're going to be there. Me and you can both see the Premier League right now, like. This is where I'm at with Arteta. I can't back him all the time. And I think people like to do this whole, it's never Arteta, it's the Cronkies. It's not that thing. It's either you can work within this context or you have to leave. And I always say, there's one thing with Arteta in that he's not an idiot. This is a relationship of convenience. There's times he could have been sacked and would have been sacked under different contexts. But it's a mess, bro. This is why I think it's all a mess. I can't guarantee getting rid of Arteta is going to win us something. I can't guarantee keeping him is going to win something. And what I would say is doing the same thing again and again, you've got to try something different. That's where I'm aligning with you. Xabi Alonso, I'm on that. Jose Mourinho, I'm not sure. Conte, I'm not sure. The names, yeah. But Xabi Alonso, if Xabi Alonso said, I'll take Arsenal over tomorrow, Arteta, man, safe. Like, I just want us to win, bro.
Deluded, I have to cut now. I got something to go and do, yeah?
No worries.
Sorry, my brother. I got that emergency going on.
Minor. It's been interesting. Last question before you get out of here, yeah? Quickly. Yeah. Do we have any chance against Liverpool? And if we win the league, are you Arteta in?
If we win the league, then he buy himself some credit. I must give him that with this team. And Liverpool is playing bad. They're not playing good, but they're grinding out the points. And that's
what we ain't got. That's what I mean about getting over the line with Arteta and these boys. He ain't got that.
To be honest with you, I would love to see my club win the Premier League. There's nothing would make me more happy than see Arsenal win the Premier League. So
I was in primary school when we lost won the league, bro. Like fuck Gallagher them thing there. Now we still ain't done it, cuz it's peak, fam.
Oh god, the bunch of primary school, fam. You're talking 20 plus years.
You were called a glory hunter for that, bro.
I'm telling you, but basically, yes, he would have bought himself some time, to win the Premier League with this team. So yes, I would give him credit for that. But I don't believe it's going to happen. And for that reason, then we have to go in a different direction.
I'm with that. Because we can't keep doing the same things, hoping for different results. As I always say, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If Arteta's got to go, he's got to go. I'm only loyal to my football club. Like, it's as simple as that.
And that's me. I don't lie to no player, no manager, just the club.
That's it, and that's all it is, man. Let people know where they can find you if you shoot off, my guy.
You don't know we're there from Yardman AFC and YouTube people. Don't forget to follow. We're gonna do a watch along coming this Saturday in West Ham. We're not going to the game, So yes, people on Instagram and TikTok, Yardman AFC. So big up to everybody in the chat. Sorry I have to end the chat prematurely,
Mine,
but I've got a little bit of emergency I have to go and
mine,
take
man. I
care of.
appreciate you,
So
man.
big
Like
up
you've been
yourself.
doing
But
bare
you know
things.
what? You know what, bro? I'm gonna jump back on you maybe on the weekend or something like that. Yeah. So
Shout me, man.
I will shout you and tell you when I'm available so we can have a good 2 hour chat. You get me? So big
Shout
up
me, man.
yourself.
Shout me.
Yeah, man. All right, then
Come
say
on, my
nothing.
guy,
Yeah.
man. In a
All right,
bit, in
then.
a bit,
Big
in a
up.
bit. Make sure you're
Yeah.
subscribing to Yardman. Yardman, done know, my guy. In a bit.
All right, then. Bye, now.
In a bit, man. Safe. Well, mad thing. Big up Yardman, man. Like, this is why I like speaking with Arsenal fans, whether it's Yardman, Roby, Turkish. Make sure you're following Famzone TV, Lee Gunnar, Tom Canton, Dan Ports. If I ain't said your name, don't feel left out. Hooks. Yeah, man. If I ain't said your name, don't feel left out in it. Like, we all want the best. I don't think anyone's right or anyone's wrong. And I guess this is why, for me, just naturally, I'm quite balanced in my opinions. I think Yardman said a lot of great points. Obviously, you saw I disagreed with a lot, especially around Emre, but mad to interested opinions. That's what we're trying, man. You lot called for Yardman on the platform. I made it happen. DG and Yardman are correct in essence. We need that 1 extra percent. I think Arteta can pull it off if he gets another lucky injury less season. Mike, I hear that, and I'm not here to draw out Arteta yet, but what I will say is every year you don't do that, it's the question's going to get bigger and bigger. And I'm not saying you, yeah, but as I said, I'd like to think I've praised Arteta for what I can praise him for, but the fine margins, they're never going to be favorable. Like they're never like it's like we always need as fans. I think we get caught in this trap of we always talking about ideal conditions, which is never going to be a thing. We've had a clean run with injuries last year, we didn't do it. We've had injuries this year, we haven't necessarily did it. We had one key injury per se, 2022-23 fell off. So you could argue we're not necessarily learning, man. I covered all of this in a previous stream as well, man. Get Lee Gunner and Kenny Ken on. Lee's a busy guy. I'll try a thing, man. I'll try a thing with Lee. Kenny Ken. That's what I was gonna say. Kenny Ken. I'm gonna have him on Wednesday, and I'm gonna have Southern Gooner as well, man. I'm trying, man. Any other names, suggestions? Make sure you post them up, man. You need to do a stream with Curtis, aka the Sunday League Cameron Jerome. Shout out Curtis, another one. Shout out Curtis. What is he gonna just do? Call Kyle as a donkey. Oh, you're a donkey, everybody out. No, I'm joking, man. I'm back on or Fabregas. You know what? I'm liking what Fabregas is doing at Como. I don't know if you're the guy. I'm having Xabi Alonso. Not that he's signing for Arsenal. He would be my first choice just because you're kind of from that school of Arteta thought, and you are a proven winner, bro. People can say it's Bundesliga, all of this, but you're a proven winner. And I think when you watch Leverkusen, one thing Arteta doesn't do enough, Xabi Alonso's not scared to make subs quickly, not scared to tweak formations and all of that kind of things. I think you look at the last 3 years under Arteta, he's shown he can tweak things, but that's kind of a year-by-year basis. Of course, little games, there's been 3 at the back, but don't change things in-game enough for me. Like I always say, for me, like we're playing on Saturday, right? Arteta, for me, from now till Saturday, he can plan for West Ham. He knows them better than he knows themselves. He knows where they're going to run. We'll go out there, low blocks, got them stifled in. But you see when something pops up that we don't expect or cannot necessarily see, I think Arteta just keeps doing the same thing again and again, hoping for something different. I don't think we can sit here and say Arteta hasn't been backed. I'm a hypocrite. I do think there's been times he hasn't, but at the same time, bro, you've been given a lot more freedom than Emre had, and you've done a lot of good things, but you've also made a lot of mistakes along the way. As a novice manager is obviously going to do, people, and it's a thing where, and I'm starting to think like this. Yeah, we can always blame the Cronkies, and they're not blameless, but they've given the man money, left backs galore, goalkeepers galore. But scratch that. Just stay with me. Whether Arteta is or isn't the guy, or the Cronkies are or aren't better owners, yeah. Surely it comes a point. I don't think they're to blame for us not winning the league last year. We finished 2 points. I think every excuse you could look at as to why we didn't is on the football field, right? But if we know the Cronkies are not going nowhere, we know they're all about their self-financing thing. We know they're not going to do what City and Chelsea owners do. Surely then we now need to look at someone that can work within this remit, rightly or wrongly, and make something happen if it isn't Arteta, which again, as you saw, I said numerous good points about Arteta, but every year you don't get over the line, there's issues. And fundamentally for me, I think Arteta is a good coach. I think some of his coaching aspects, from what the players say, is quite genius. From purely that angle, I think there's big good things about him. But you see, when it comes to getting over the line, We put up your semi-finals, your performances in the FA Cup since we've won that. We can put that he won it as well, but all the cup competitions and the league, they've all got X's near them. Yeah, there's contexts for some years and whatever, but fundamentally ain't done it. Winners win, and the loser explains and complains. History is only written by the winners. We know how dodgy Man United weren't necessarily amazing when they won the treble. And Arsenal, that's one of my biggest L's because we could have stopped that little history. But history remembers they won the treble. History is not necessarily going to remember Chelsea were one of the worst teams in the Champions League when they won it the first time. They did it, though. We sit here and say we're the best team in 2024. Did we win the league? And that's the stage where we need to get to. Winning doesn't, obviously, you don't know where balance will talk, but winning don't care about context, you know. It's an over-the-line thing. And big up Thierry Henry, but Henry at our football club. As a manager, I don't know, bro. I don't know. You are delusional and forget the injuries. I didn't say that, but you can't forget. The injuries are a thing, but everybody gets injuries. We had injuries last season. Again, this is being a football manager. It's like being a boxer and saying, oh yeah, but I got punched in my face and this and that. Bro, people get injured. Get the squad. The Cronkies are one thing. Has Arteta done everything in terms of squad management? Has he necessarily, or let's say as a club, have we learned our lessons from last year? Because last year I saw we can thump up teams 3-4, 5-0. But when it comes to those 3-4 games that make the difference in the season, where you need to get the ball over the line, we ain't done it. I'm seeing the same things, good and bad. I don't think it's a thing where you can just say Arteta's walking on water and things, nor do I think it's a thing where you can make out he's 100% terrible. You've done the rebuild thing, but getting over the line for him and as a club, and you can't have it two ways. You can't sit here and say, yes, injuries play a part, but you can't sit here and say he's built the squad. And then when there looks like there's chinks in the armor, immediately say he's played no part in it. As a woman, I look forward to the streams with Jess and other female guests. Don't worry, Gunnar. There's more females. There's more females landing. Wait, you can't. Women. I swear you can't say female. Don't. This is how I get cancelled online, and this is woke culture. Women. Jess will be here. Trying to pattern that up for tomorrow. Actually, Jess will be here. I'm on the lookout for more women Arsenal fans as well. Like I'm you know me, I'm not Edu. I'm really out here trying to get like you're a geezer, you're this, you're a woman, you're this. As long as you know what you're talking about, or you don't even have to know what you're talking about. As long as you can articulate yourself, this YouTube channel is open for business, man. Hey, chill. I got called out for it the other day trying to be nice. I'm not on it, man. I meant no disrespect. Yeah, allow me. Women, yeah. I don't think, come on, man. You know what I mean? I get it, I'm a City fan, but I don't think Merino is the answer, brother. What's left of the season, Merino up front is going to have to run. Random young players up front is going to have to run. Unfortunately, there's going to be times where you're going to have to see Raheem Sterling, and well, it is what it is. We're just going to have to play it by ear off the cuff. It was up to me. The summer. I think it all comes back from the summer. January, last chance saloon. We needed to do things. We didn't do it. The summer. And this is where I think, on one hand, I think Arteta's been a bit naive because I know Fabio Vieira needed to get him game time, and hindsight's a wonderful thing, but you could have kept him. I personally think Arteta wanted to keep Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe wanted to go. It made sense. Cut. But we could have kept him. We just don't have enough bodies. And I think unfortunately for us Arsenal fans, I think when you look at it on the sporting front, obviously, crunch time moments, we all know our problems on the football front, and we all know the good things, right? And we all know where we finished last season and all of them kind of things. So you whether you like Arteta or don't, you're kind of not excited, but you can see the trajectory. You can see that we're a decent team now. We're here. The level of winning the titles is here. We're flirting with it. We need to kind of break it down. But then you remove it from a sporting front and just look at the summer business. We clearly, I am not a fly on the wall, but for us to run up and get Raheem Sterling, that tells me that Arteta wanted targets that you couldn't get. The board was telling him certain players that might have been good, didn't listen. And just on that, remember Jurgen Klopp wanted Julian Brandt, Someone above said, Michael Edwards said Salah. Salah worked out, right? I think there's been a bit of that. I do think they've kind of let him down. I just think there's too many chefs in the kitchen. We're scrambling for Neto and Raheem Sterling. I like Mikel Merino, and I don't know everything, but it felt like we needed level raises to our starting 11. So if there was money for Mikel Merino, Was there money for, if we could only sign, he might have wanted Merino and someone else, but should he have won for the game changer? I'm quite happy with Calafiori. I think there's too much said about why he's on another left back. And it's even said now with Lewis Skelly, right? But you could argue, why did you spend significant sums on Calafiori when there was other priorities? We shot ourselves in the foot. January the same. And when I mentioned the Jan and Sun window, yeah, even let's just assume Arteta wanted, I don't know, he might have, but let's just assume Arteta wanted, though, like what we did in January, which was nothing, and what we did in the summer, that's what Arteta, let's just say Arteta wanted that. If you're serious and talking about above Mikel, yeah, if you're serious about, right, Arsenal ain't won the league in 20 years, we're finally good now, we're flirting with it, there's a lot of foreplay, there's no penetration, we're not quite getting over the line. You don't allow that. You don't. But this is where I take it back to what I said earlier, in the sense of I'm getting past the point of Kroenke out and Arteta this, that, and the other. We need to find a way to work within the remit, man. And then you look at our team, yeah. Obviously, I do think stability is a myth, because life, like football, is ever changing, right? People getting older, contracts are running down, people want to leave, systems are changing, inverted fullbacks, normal fullbacks, etc. But when you looked at our point, yeah, it did look like there was stability. Now you've got no sporting director. 1 minute it's going to be Jason Ato, then it's not. And one wonders how that's going to pan into the summer. So, pardon me, you ain't got that. Partey's getting old. Jorginho's getting old. Trossard, on one hand, you don't know if the club are going to sell him. Zini needs to go. There's bare players you can make a case of leaving, right? Clearly, we need to bring people in. Obviously, we've got some young players. There's a lot to have been done. And I think the club, well, I say the club are going to set them up for failure. It seems like some Arsenal fans, not you lot, because some of you are more positive and negative. I always say on this platform, I don't tell you what to think. Just think, right? Just think. That's it. Just think. A lot of people are angry now. They're going to, you know, football's emotional. We're going to do the whole starting again. And we're already being briefed. We're going to Zubamendi in the summer, this one in the summer, that one in the summer, this one, that one. And I think everyone forgets Saliba, Gabriel, Martinelli, Saka, and to a degree, Lewis Skelly and Ethan, but it's a bit different. Bro, they need new deals. So we've got a lot to do. I don't think we have enough footballing people. I don't think Arteta's opinion's challenged. Like I said, Jurgen Klopp example for Liverpool. You know, Julian Brandt could have went and been the best thing since sliced bread for Liverpool. But someone said there's a lad called Mo Salah. Forget all of that. You look at Pep Guardiola. Maybe he's lying and it's something different, right? But the other day, off the back of Marmoush scoring a hat-trick, he came out and he said, the chairman said to me, we need to sign Marmoush. So I went and done my research. If it rightly or wrongly, and obviously Arteta's probably being scouted things, but Arteta's got his own way and seems a bit rigid. There's nobody challenging him. The only challenges that Arteta gets in our board is if it doesn't make financial sense. You know, I know people sit here and say, oh, we got accountants and lawyers and all of that. Bro, there's bare lawyers out there and accountants and any other job in normal society. They're footballing men and women because they actually like football. That's your occupation. That's how you pay your bills. That's how you feed your kids, right? These lot are just dotting I's and crossing T's. It seems to me that there's this target that Tim Lewis has to do, and then he does all of that. If it makes sense, he allocates a little bit of funds for Mikel Arteta. Not a little bit, but the funds get allocated. You do what you want. If it's a success, it's a success. If it's a failure, it's a failure. We clearly need that long-term David Dean. But the Cronkies have struck gold. I don't think they care about Arteta from a sporting front. As long as you get top four, that's calm. So you're getting top four, you're finishing second, you got the top 6 record. As much as us Arsenal fans are waffling, we've got 2 L's this season, bare draws. A lot has to go right in how we're doing things for us to win a league. People have favorable conditions. Everyone has to stay fit. Everybody's form has to be amazing. Everyone has to start scoring goals. There can be, rightly or wrongly, there can be no refereeing nonsense. There could be no red cards. There could be no mistakes. Unfortunately, that's not how football works, man. 100. I do think too many people involved and none are accountable. For me, I'm at the point, you lot tell me you're a collaborative club, all of that. All of you are at it together. Word to Harry Simeon it's like having a crime scene. There's multiple fingerprints there. It's joint enterprise, which is fucked to say. It's joint enterprise. You know, he might have shot the person. You might have drove the car, but you was there. You were there. Everybody's in this. Because I do think when we win, it's all Arteta. When we lose, it's according to some, it's all Arteta or it's everybody but Arteta. I don't think there's any nuance. And to be fair, we're not flies on the wall. That's why, to a degree, I was happy Edu left. Not obviously leaving us mid-season, leaving us in the lurch. We're fucked in that regards, innit? But I do think he had a lot of issues. But Mikel Arteta and the players, we see what they do on the football field. You get your praise and critique. We don't know what Edu tried to do or didn't do and all of those kind of things. So it's one less pillar to hide behind. It's dead, man. It's dead. I need Cronkies to leave, but they're not going anywhere. Just got the club since 2018. The merch is coming out, getting Champions League. Arteta's got us half decent. We might not be happy necessarily because we want to get over the line and those question marks. But the club are not a club that are going to get rid of Donny. I ain't got no examples, but I'm sure I've seen in my 29 years, a man will win a Prem or a Champs or do something or somewhat save somebody's season and still get the clip. That's not happening. These men do not care about that. These men are struck gold. And I do think if Arteta left, he'd have plenty of offers. But I'm loyal to my football club. I don't care what Arteta does in his footballing career unless it's at Arsenal Football Club. Man said, DG, you're rubbing shoulders with Simon Jordan these days. Don't you want to give him a nudge to make some moves for Arsenal? Why does everyone say this? I've been on TalkSport a couple of times. Actually, I've never even seen Simon Jordan. When I went there, the only most famous people I saw, Jason Cundy. And I walked past one of the rooms and what's his name from Celebrity Juice, man? Keith Lemon. So, yeah, I say Kroenke out because they're the ones with the most control. Now, if they're going to pass off that responsibility to someone else, get the best and stop with the mates running things. Exactly. I want the Kroenkes to go. I want Saudi money or I want someone who actively wants to win. When I see, do you know how jealous I get when I see even Nottingham Forest? You know how jealous I get when I see Nottingham Forest? Granted, it's not every week, yeah, but sometimes Nottingham Forest will be playing and they'll win. They'll pan to the change room or the tunnel. The owner of the club is there, high-fiving, doing all this. Them man, they want to win. That's why I've come to accept this is how the Kroenkes do things. I'm not saying protests don't work and we can't scream or shout, but what is it going to bring? Because when it was darker at Arsenal, forget the Super League, when it was, prime Wenger, well, not prime Wenger, but prime Emirates Wenger, where social media, they survived that. They've survived that. They've survived transfer windows where fourth wasn't a given and we didn't buy anyone. So what is this now? This is heaven. Bearing in mind, we can scream and shout outside the Emirates in North London. Them man are all 5-6 hours behind. It's a shame, man. Appreciate that, Mike, man. Appreciate that, man. When Arteta got rid of Aubameyang, he said it was a collective decision. Even when he was getting praise, he also said it was a collective. Therefore, it's all on them, but more so the owners. It's true. But even when I look at the all or nothing, Richard Garlick and Edu, they looked a bit shook, They looked a bit scared. Like, it is what it is. And that's what I said when Yardman was here, in a sense of whatever I've got to say, good or bad about Arteta, and I've clearly said plenty of negatives, yeah. We're second, innit? Like, we're second. And I'm not saying this because I necessarily care about it. The top 6 record is a lot better than how it's ever been during the Emirates era. We are second in it. And the way we're moving as Arsenal fans, you wouldn't think that we ain't lost in 15. We've got 2 losses this season. I think some fans like to hide behind these statistics and be happy for no reason. Me, I see not losing in 15, 2 L's, 90 odd goals, all of them, clean sheets, all of these things as something to build on. And that's what pisses me off. Because when we were 8th, I hear it. But now there's actually something here that if we just did 1 or 2 more things, and Arteta arrested a lot from a coaching point of his own back, if certain things were above him with the owners, if we had certain players, it is what it is. We'd be winning stuff. But, so ifs and buts and these things, man, it's dead, bro. Like, I've come to accept it. Definitely need more rational DG opinions on TalkSport. Spam them up, man. Tell them to invite the guy. I think Arteta only gets financially backed when we're in danger of missing top 4. Otherwise, Tim Lewis is keeping the bank details. I hear it, but I can't agree with it because you had money for Jesus and Zini at the time. Granted, they were good. They were fairly big purchases. Last with summer, the next summer, you was allowed to smash the transfer record. I actually don't think, Arsene Wenger would have signed Declan Rice, but you was allowed to do that. I can't say the Kroenkes don't back you if they found 65 million for Kai Havertz. And fair enough, the Kroenkes might not know F4 about football. And when I say this, I obviously can't guarantee it. But I guarantee, come on, man, when they're discussing Kai Havertz at the football club, it's not one where Edu, all of these guys are unanimously all agreeing. There must have been some oohing and ahhing, definitely for 65 million. Arteta got his way, rightly or wrongly. We see it in the same mouthpieces that come out in The Athletic. The board had concerns. Arteta's the one that pushed for it. So you're not blameless. Everybody's in this together. And at the end of the day, yeah, when it comes to Arteta, you're not being held hostage to manage Arsenal Football Club. You like it so much, you turned down the deal. You signed the new deal. You turned us down when Emre came, but you signed the new deal. And it's a sweet gig for a new novice manager. Let's be real. It's a sweet gig. Not only are you managing Arsenal, but Arsenal where Your voice is louder than bare man's. Everybody's in this together, man. I always give the example. If you're playing at grandma's house with all your cousins, everyone's having fun, someone breaks something they're not supposed to. Maybe you lot's grandparents were different, but I'm sure Mike is Irish, so his grandparents were definitely on the same thing as me. Everybody on the crime scene in that room who was there is getting beats. It doesn't matter whether you did it or not. Abby Summers is too rowdy. How do you deal with her DG? Abby's cool, man. I don't see, everyone says that. I don't see that side of Abby. Abby's quite cool. Abby's cool, man. Abby's blessed. DG, imagine a DOF coming into the club with everyone wanting to be the main voice. I'm not comparing Arteta to Arsene Wenger. I'm definitely not, yeah. But if he was Arsene Wenger, I need a David Dean, man. We all know where this club went. And maybe I don't want to ever slander David Dean, but we all know when David Dean left, what happened. We all know once certain people got their jaws into this football club from 06 or whatever till now, where we're at. This is something that didn't happen overnight. And obviously David Dean, you got to remember, he had foresight. He was a driving force behind seeing the future, bro. We need to be on top of the TV rights. We need to get this player. We need to get Arsene Wenger. He's serious. We need to think about a new stadium. And can you imagine if we were still at it? We probably would have moved a long time ago. But Spurs recently just moved into their new stadium. I say recent. It's been open a couple of years. Could you imagine if we did that rather than when we did? And we still ain't got nowhere. Let's be real. You would never move on from a 15 mil a year deal. Never. You have to kill me first. Arteta ain't going nowhere. Exactly. Even when man allow Arteta would leave, maybe one day he will get frustrated, bro. You're not 15 mil a year. You get to do what you're doing. There has been some improvements. You're not cutting nowhere. And there's probably an element of attachment to what he's doing at Arsenal because obviously it's a family, innit? You lot have been there's not been many highs, but the highs, the lows, you don't want to cut anytime soon. And that's what I mean. The owners are not going to rip up a man's contract halfway through. Well, not even halfway because he signed a 3-year deal, right? It's not even a year and a half yet. They're not going to rip up his deal, pay off his coaching staff, bring in the new man. Let's just assume the new man, I don't know, Xabi Alonso, just because he's in a job at Leverkusen, right? They're not going to pay Leverkusen the compensation package and the money it takes to bring through all the coaching staff with him. Obviously, any new manager, you might have to work with the players, quote unquote, but if they're assuming we're trying to get them to win a Premier League title, they're going to have to be allowed to, quote unquote, rip up the squad. I'm exaggerating, but what if they say, I don't care about Declan Rice as an 8 or 6, he ain't my cup of tea? Are the club gonna say, yo, safe? What if he says, I don't want inverted fullbacks, or I don't want this, or I don't want that? We're not that club. We're not going to do that. DG, have you seen the new Total 90 balls that are coming to the end of the season? Jogo Benito. They look like a remix of the old things, man. Everything starts with owners and goes down. People in there start blaming the man in the middle. Soon Gunnosaurus going to get blamed. Everyone for me gets blamed, bro. Everyone. Nobody's faultless, man. You get it the most, especially if you are the oldest of the bunch, but everyone's getting it. Exactly. Yes, I'd sack Arteta, managers that could do better. Carlo Ancelotti, you know what? The Carlo be wasting his time here, bro. Honestly, Carlo, these men will get pissed off. Honestly, these men will get pissed off. And that's something that, rightly or wrong, I'm not saying Arteta don't get pissed off, but he's happy to work in this remit. Carlo's gonna be like, what the hell are you doing here? Safe. Xabi Alonso, I'm on that. Can't tell you too much about Abel Ferreira or Mikel. Xavi, I looked a bit booky at bar, so that's why I said I don't know about him. But we do need a DOF, man. I'm not even against them being cool with agents, you know. I'm not even, if you're plugged in with agents, that's great. I just need someone that, when we're scrambling around a week before deadline day, can you pull a rabbit out the hat? January, whether it's, I'm not saying to get Tell, but you tried the Tell thing, you tried the Watkins thing, bare injuries. Can you pull something out? Villa have Monchi and he's doing well, man. I want the Real Sociedad one, Alabi, just because he seems like he's leaving and it seems like we're, doing the Sociedad alumni. Might as well bring him in it. I think we've tried the whole. Listen, I can't really comment on Jason Ito in it because I'm not a fly on the wall. But I just think we've tried the whole young players, young sporting, done, young manager. It ain't bang. Now, maybe granted, they could get it right. Maybe Jason Ito's the one, he's lit. Me, and it still doesn't guarantee everything. Experience done, Arteta. Try that in it. And if it don't work, try something else. We'd have to drop out of the Champions League position for him to leave, probably. Bro, until someone comes with something more tempting, Arteta isn't leaving anytime soon. 15 mil per year and no pressure from the owners. Happy days. People don't seem to get any manager named must be able to get players through the academy. It should be obvious the Cronkies aren't enthusiastic to have the club spending money chasing trophies. But that's why I said it's a double-edged sword, because although I agree with that and I'm drawing out the Cronkies, I can't sit here and say the Cronkies are the reason we didn't win the league title last year. I think it's all from a sporting front on the players on Arteta. I can't, as much as I do sit here and say they ain't backed him, you can't sit here and say they ain't backed him. You've mashed up the transfer record. 65 million for Kai Havertz, tore up contracts, goalkeeper galore, left back galore. I think the Cronkies have a factor, but there's a lot that Arteta hasn't learned, even from this season and last. Maybe you tried to learn in the summer or Jan, but I'm seeing certain elements. And this just shows me a team that is good. We're going to be good for the majority of the campaign. But those 3, 4, 5 games that make you win a Premier League title, we're never on the right side of fine margins. And I've been saying this since the summer. You lot tried to call me negative because I didn't believe we'd win a title this year. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that we do a madness. I just felt, A, we ain't improved the depth. 2, I like Calafiori signing. I don't think Moreno's that bad and whatnot. But there's no game changers there. And you crucially didn't sign a striker. Kai can contribute and be part of the squad. But and I'm not saying you lot were wrong, but some of you were saying don't sign a striker because we got Kai Havertz. I tried to sit there and say, listen, he did big up Kai, but he did it for half a year. Get someone that's a cold-hearted killer in front of goal. Let Kai Havertz still thrive in and amongst that. You look at the Martinellis, the Trossards, everyone beyond Bukayo Saka and Asterix, where I'm ignoring Ethan. These guys will have handsome... They will score goals, innit? They will go through little purple patches of form. When we're beating up teams 4-5-0, they'll add to goals. But you know in your heart, Saka's the only one that's going to do it for the distance. And then it's Kai Havertz, which, again, it's nothing. We can criticize Kai from a sporting front. But if you're reliant on Kai being one of your most consistent and reliable attackers and having one of the best outputs, in terms of the rebuild, that's great. In terms of getting over the line in competitions, it's naivety. Which is why you would need a lot to go right, man. Why don't you think you can win the league? You're not living up to your name, Deluded. Marcel, this guy's just coming to rattle people, man. This guy's a waste, man. He's my guy, but he's actually a waste. Oh, man. Arsenal Football Club, eh? But yeah, I don't think Arteta is to be blamed for everything. I definitely don't think he's blameless. I'm not going to cry if he gets sacked. And I'm definitely not I'm not saying force the man out. But if I don't know who the manager is, but if you gave me a decent sounding pattern, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not on it. Yeah, it's over for Raheem, man. Physically as well, man. Do you know what? I know it's different and he's not playing, but he looks tubbier. He's obviously confident shot. He's not fluid. And even, let's be honest, Raheem Sterling is a relationship of convenience. We couldn't get the players we wanted. Chelsea couldn't get rid of you far enough. Arteta knows him personally. Chelsea were happy to deal with us. We let Nelson go as well. Or Nelson was only going to get sanctioned if that happened. It was a relationship of convenience. There's no way you could look at the summer we had and say we were serious. I don't care about we tried. I have no doubt Mikel Arteta and the players tried to win the league this year. I don't think anyone goes out there to play and lose games on purpose. Trying doesn't go far. If I'm a manager, I'm not even necessarily Arteta. If I'm a manager and I try for 38 games but don't necessarily get enough wins, am I still going to be a manager of that team next season if I'm even lucky? How far does it go? We're now at that stage of capitalizing on small margins and getting over the line. This is why I said, Arteta, one love for the points you've played to get us here. Every year, I'm not saying I'm pitchforking get out, but every year you don't get over that. You haven't necessarily earned that credit in the bank from me. You haven't necessarily earned me backing you faultlessly. In the same way, City, if some spoiled City fans wanted Pep gone, some are going to back him because of what he did, or Klopp, or you get the point. Arteta ain't done that. Yes, you're a good coach, innovative, all of that, but you're a top-level professional coach. I could be devil's advocate and say you should be able to do that. No Fab or Henry as managers, coaches with Santi, let's go, but not as managers. Liverpool are looking tired. They were clinging on against Wolves. They'll fade with Saka back. I guarantee you will come through. I hope so. I don't know about that, though, because they've still got a lot of dropping points to do, man. The margins are too great, man. Yeah, I gave it a 6. I did give the summer a 6 mainly because of sales. It's even worse now. It's a 3-4 at best. In the circle, he was right on that as well. It's not worked out unless he goes Super Saiyan now. Even if we win every game, bro. Obviously, Liverpool have to drop points, but assuming Liverpool don't drop a point again and we win every Premier League game, who lifts it? There's too much of a margin, man. There's too much. And it's self-inflicted collectively as a club this year, last year. And I'm not really onto the club for not winning the league in 2022-23, but you could say that. Honestly, those above Mikel Arteta, I don't think they care about winning the league, but I think we're in these conversations a lot sooner than they thought. I think the 2022-23 season came a lot faster than they thought. And just speaking for myself, like I'm not asking us to sign bare Galacticos and do the Chelsea thing. It's just evident. Like when an opportunity presents itself to find the forward or one that's gonna cost peas, do it. Because you either adapt to what's now. If you want the Cunhas and the Kuduses and the Isaacs and this one and that one, you pay the damn money. If you can haggle, great. You either pay the money or you do you can't even do the Liverpool thing now. Well, you can, but you can't. Unless, you could have got Marmoush. Liverpool, apart from Alisson and Van Dijk, at the time of, you could even say this with City, even though they did spend money when they signed Gundogan and Kevin, they didn't break the bank per se. But yeah, back to the Liverpool, Van Dijk and Alisson, cool, they cost a lot of money. Salah was there for everybody at Fiorentina. Sorry, Mane was there for everyone to see at Southampton. Louis van Gaal the other day was saying, I was telling United again. Firmino was there. Wijnaldum was there. Robertson was there. Trent's come from the academy. And all the other little bits and pieces. Gomez was from Charlton. Matip was a free transfer. Like, just need a strategy, man. And upsettingly for me, I just think collectively as a club, we half step. And what I mean by that is we'll grab Declan Rice. We'll get this one. We'll do this one. We'll half move serious. And then in other ways, we're twiddling our thumbs. So then I think we get what we, from a club point of view, I think we get what we deserve. Ultimately, not what we want in May, but some good little banter moments for fans in between. And it sucks, bro. We can see the gamble on Raheem. It's peak, man. I can't see it happening. People seem receptive to Raheem based on past history, but it's evidence that Chelsea were right to bench him. And even for Raheem, I feel sorry for him, He's turning 31 this year. He's winning 30. He's turning 31 this year. Obviously, I can't say I feel sorry for him because I'd imagine he's under contract at Chelsea for a couple of years and you're getting paid like 300 grand a week. But from a sporting point of view, I mean, Arsenal have done crazy things. I think one crazy thing we won't do clearly is signing Raheem Sterling permanently. Chelsea, it's a myth. Obviously, I don't think you're going to the World Cup, but it probably would be your last World Cup next season, and that's a World Cup year. What's going to happen? You can't rule out having a future at Chelsea, but it's bleak at Arsenal, bleak at Chelsea. Unless a great run of form happens, can't see anyone necessarily queuing up. Might get a little Premier League loan next season if the conditions are favourable. Might have to, I don't know how much it will cost, but we have seen contracts being terminated and ripped up in the modern day, and we've been the poster boys for that with Aubameyang, Ozil, Willian, Pepe. I'm sure there's more, but more low-level-y kind of ones. It's peak for him, man. I hope, listen, at the end of the day, we're at that point now where we need Sterling to go on a run, man. At the end of the day, Sterling, yeah, you ain't had a run of form. You've never really got going. There's a lot of excuses I can give you, but at the end of the day, as I said, it's not favorable conditions. If life was fair, we'd have a lot less. If everybody was like, if the minutes were distributed fairly to defenders, Lewis Kelly's playing less minutes. And if there wasn't injuries, we're not seeing him at left back per se. If the minutes were distributed fairly to attackers, Ethan's not playing. We ain't got time for that. We got a 17-year-old doing the business in 90 minutes. Trossard went amazing against Leicester, but away from the fact he's better than you, the manager clearly said, right, I can't take off Ethan, hit the crossbar 1-2 times. He's the closest I got to Saka right now. Trossard ain't really doing the business, but I know he's got quality, and it was validated. First time, crunch moment. Yeah, it's not going to happen every game. Crunch moment, Trossard, wonderful assist. Ethan the same. I really hope Alabi comes in as DOF. We need a man with a vision and a football man first and foremost. Forget these lawyers. It's true, but you've got to... I feel those who employ him, they've got to give him the clout, because I'm not saying Edu was perfect, yeah. But surely Edu was... And again, I'm not saying he's competent, but surely Edu's a footballing man. He was an ex-player. You didn't come into this because of what you can do as an accountant or any of that. So we've had the footballing man and it ain't worked out. So for me, I think we need a footballing man, but they need to be given an equal say in what we're doing, man. I think they need a bit of power to kind of push back on some of the signings, because I don't think Kai Havertz has been a terrible signing for Arsenal. He's probably been a lot better than a lot of us imagine. But fundamentally, does he answer anything? He's a good player. He mucks in the squad. Is he the striker we need? Is he the best option in midfield? Could we have spent that 65 million either on a better player or distributed that wiser elsewhere? Probably yes. It's them kind of moments there where maybe it's not us. It's very harsh for me to say, but maybe Arteta wants to spend 65 million on Kai Havertz. Somebody says, yo, nah, I got the next Mo Salah there, or someone that can do something like that. Sterling's been playing men's football from 16, so 10, 15 years down the line, it was inevitable he was going to tank due to the amount of mileage he's picked up in his career. Boy, the damage has already been done to this campaign. Too many draws early in the campaign. And that's the difference with us and Liverpool. There's been so many times they're supposed to lose and they've drawn. So many times they're supposed to draw and they've nicked it. This is what I mean. We're typically our best friends or worst enemies. Winning every season means you have to beat us at Anfield, which ain't happening at our worst. You couldn't beat us there. Well, you lot can't beat us at the Emirates, mate. I reckon if you lot wrap up the league before Anfield, we'll move to you lot there, man. I don't even dislike Liverpool, but I do like to see them lose or suffer else, because it means Marcel's not going to be in the chat, man. Why can't they develop the buy cheap to sell for profit later model like Brighton do? Would help the finances. I wish I had the answers, man. Maybe Raheem should consider coaching. I saw something about him visiting the academy to talk to young players. You never know. It does seem like he's got a lot of interest, but I hear you. But when you've earned the money he's earned, when you've done whatever, I can't tell you Raheem Sterling's lost his hunger or any of that, but you got to remember, a football career is short, you know, and whether he's finished or not, he's one of the lucky ones in that you bust through at 16, you're still playing at 30, turning 31. One day you're not going to be able to play football. Me, I'll carry on playing until I get cut, man. Yeah, Edu being a football man allowed us this far, but Alabi will come with colour. Even Rose at Leverkusen does it. You're right, they need to let his voice be heard. That's what I'm saying, because on one hand, as much as I criticize Edu, and I would love Edu to have what do they call it? You know, when you give an interview or like an interview with like no holds bar kind of thing, like no PR, actually what happened. I'd love to know, because I think he's shown incompetency, but there must have been times his hands are crippled. Like even when it comes down to the Calafiori one, he made sure that went over the line. Apparently he wasn't keen on Kai Havertz, and you know, if that's what you're being told to do, that's what you're being told to do. He had concerns about the goalie thing, and then he pulled a rabbit out the hat with Neto. I know. Yeah, it's a madness where we're concerned, man. It's a madness. So madness. I would love us to be that inner circle, because for me, I want us to sign players for now, if that makes sense. Like quote unquote, right now, players for now. But I don't think you should ever stop planning for the future. So again, go after the Isaacs and the Sescos and this one and that one. But if you've got occasionally 3 to 10 million and you want Napan, don't go to Brazil and come back with Marquinhos. You want Napan and all these guys. Go and get it done. If he progresses to the first team, bearing in mind I just said 10 million as an example. If he progresses to the first team, great. We've got a player at 10 million. That's good. If he progresses to the first team, but it's not, you know, he's kind of on the Fabio Vieira thing. He's not really making a name for himself. And he's gone from being worth 10 million to, I don't know, I'm exaggerating now, 40, 50, 60. Make the profit, reinvest that, we keep it moving, even down to our academy. Unfortunately, we need to be a bit like Chelsea. If we're in them situations where you've got Amari Hutchinson, Mika Beref, Balogun, which we did it, to be fair, Renell Waters and Brooke Norton-Cuffy and them kind of ones that are not really going to get in the first team. If they're at Chelsea, Chelsea are selling them players for 20 odd million a pop. City as well, because they're tailoring the loans properly. There's a lot we need to do, especially if we're not going to do we're not going to, when Newcastle are free from PSR, they're going to flex their muscles. Chelsea are doing it wrongly, but they ain't afraid to flex their muscles. City are a bit more competent, I feel, out of all the big money spendings, but they're not afraid to flex their muscles. I mean, saying that, is there ever going to be a conversation about Jack Grealish? Yeah, he's won treble and all that. I think we sold Beref too early, man. Appreciate you, Jay. Where you been, man? Big up. Thank you for the super chat. Big up, DG. With your past knowledge of Haaland, past? No haircut, about that. What does that mean? With your past knowledge of Haaland, what's your opinion on how Arteta has used or misused them? Keep up the good work. I think I alluded to the part about selling. I've said it before. I think Arteta definitely now could have used them, could have given debuts here and there, but I think Arteta he's not on the Wenger thing. He's not on League Cups, everybody getting game time. I think he's either got to really like you, or you've got to be like Lewis Skelly, Ethan. Obviously, he didn't bring through Saka, but Saka to a degree, Nelson, these ones that it's evident you're one of the elite kind of young players. I don't think he's on just taking the random nobodies. I don't even know if Arteta brings through a Iwobi. And what I mean by that is Iwobi weren't rated like that. But one thing I could say is it surprised me how you went on into the first team and did whatever. But if you remember the season he came through, he was bossing out under 21s. I remember a game at the Emirates against Stoke. Gnabry was there. He took his chance and he ran with it. Them kind of random ones, I don't feel come on the scene. Or Jose with Scott McTominay. There's probably some that could dispel that logic. But yeah, man. I don't think that happens, man. Hey, fams on TV, make sure you're following One Love. Make sure you're following the Trench Talks as well. What do we do when Saka comes back? Ethan stays on the team or goes to the bench. I mean, you've seen these rumors today about Saka. When is Saka coming back, though, man? Because I'd imagine he'd be on the bench. Because even as you know yourself, because you know, Bull, when the man comes back, how many minutes has he got in the legs? Like we've all been screaming about Benjamin White coming back. He didn't get no minutes off the bench against Leicester. And I do think Ben White's fit, but then sometimes I think Arteta does the thing where, you know, when a man is past fit, like they technically can play, but they're not ready. He puts them on the bench. It starts looking a bit litter, and then we keep it moving from there. It's a difficult one, man, because we're going to need all our hopes are going to be on Saka, innit? We're going to need him to hit the ground running. We're going to be overly believing in him, expecting him to do this thing. But honestly, I don't think we see him back till April. I think without being a physio, it's a little 20 minutes, half an hour, all them kind of things there. When he's fit to start, Ethan's got a whole bench in it, really. I would put Ethan on the left. I know that's a left field shout, but I'll put him on the left. I don't think I would drop Ethan for Odegaard at this moment in time. I know Odegaard's form ain't been amazing. Don't kill me, folks. So, yeah, man. Insert a first refusal and buyback clause on our academy players, maybe. Just be a bit more proactive in the development. And I'd say a lot of the time, it's picking good loans, bro. Like, how many times do we pick good loans for our young players per se? Sego Jr. just come back. We don't pick the good loans. I remember when Dan Crowley was here, the lad we bought from Aston Villa. Of course, game time is game time, yada, yada, yada. But you've taken someone that them times there was like an 8 or a 10, yeah, in a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. So you get where I'm going. You've loaned him to Oxford in League One, where already that's not tailored to him. They're playing a 4-4-2, and he's playing off the flank. So yeah, man, I think there's that. No way Ethan can be on the bench, but playing him on the left means 2 18-year-olds on the same side. That's another sheg as well. But then, am I naive in the 13 games, bro? Like expecting Ethan to play 70, 80, 90 minutes out of them, and obviously the Champions League? Probably not. I think Ethan could do a job on the left, but as you said, you would have Lewis Skelly there. You'd have 2 kids on. But on the other hand, if you're good enough, you're old enough. I don't know, man. Because I was saying this to Zar earlier as well. I was like, for me, I'm keen to see. I think Ethan he's his own man other than Phil Foden, in it. But he reminds me of Foden in that he can, doesn't remind me in terms of Foden, because he actually stands up to be counted and, you know, would probably back his mum in it. But he can kind of play all those roles. You know, Arteta's spoken about him being a 9. I think there's a lot for him to learn to kind of cut out a future on a consistent basis in the 10 and the 8. But that's natural, as you know, he's 17. But what if, as much as he can play everywhere, and I think he could play off the left, even though it wouldn't be his strongest. What if Ethan is a right winger? Like, what if that's his thing? Like, what if that's his thing? Like, he is a right winger, and you've got him and Saka, and maybe for a year or two it can fly. But I don't know, man. These are good problems to have. Some people said earlier, put Saka on the left. I mean, Saka can thrive on the left, but I just don't think you move the star boy, man. I know there's been times, you know, I'd say I gave the example earlier about Liverpool. Like, Liverpool are not going to move Salah, even though I'm a hypocrite, because I'm defo sure, I might be capping. I'm sure Salah has played up front for Liverpool on occasion, and by default, there's someone else on the left and the right. I think Ethan has to fill out a bit before he can go central. Yeah, naturally 17. You can't. He's still going through puberty and getting his man's body pause and all of that, innit? I just feel like naturally it's congested areas, innit? You get a bit more space out wide. Definitely in this Arteta system, you get to take on your man. And the one thing that gives me confidence that Ethan can do that, If you go and look at some of the goals and some of his actions in the early cup games at the Emirates, he was doing it from central positions. But I must admit, maybe it's recency bias, even though I think his future's in central midfield as an 8 or a 10. Just what if he makes a name for it? What if he is a right winger? Like, what if he is a right winger? It's a great problem to have. Even Dan Crowley, Wenger didn't rate him, man. He kept talking about physicality. When Wenger's talking about physicality, it's mad. Of course, why for that? Come on, man. Ethan can be the Eden Hazard cam. Saka was a left back once upon a time. Saka was balling left wing when he was being moved forward from left back. This is what I'm talking about. Buying players like Elise, Rodgers, and like when they're young and developing over a few loans, Saliba, prime example. You got to be proactive, man. And unfortunately, as a club, we are proactive in certain aspects, but then we're very reactive in others, man. Like, and that's what annoys me because, as I said, it's like we're half stepping, we're half being serious. Arteta is the guy people realize whenever they decide to look properly. I think he's a fantastic coach, bro. Big up. I need to start getting D on the platform, man. He's my favorite top Gooner. I think Arteta is a genius as a coach. I think there's so much to like about him. I just think for me, it's over the line. When are you going to do that? Every year it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as to whether you can or can't do that. And you say you do. You say you want to win trophies. It's either you can't get us over the line or you can't get us over the line within this remit of what the Cronkies are. And then do we have to look elsewhere? Because my biggest fear, and I said this before, I can see Arteta winning stuff in his career. I just don't know if it's at Arsenal, and I'm sure everyone would agree. Like, well, maybe some fancy Arteta, which D and you lot don't. But do we care if it's not at Arsenal? Like, do you care if Arteta wins a champs or a Prem or does a madness or doesn't do that unless it's at Arsenal? So it's how long's a piece of string, man. Right now we're moving like Curry Goat FC. This thing is taking forever to cook. But it's a great problem to have until we get to the summer and we're telling about Semenyo and Williams. And if we need to spend the money on those, are we really gonna cop Semenyo though? Like, I think he's decent for the squad, but we're not. They're gonna say like 50 million, innit? They ain't gonna do that. Maybe if you can't do other things, but yeah, Curry Goat is lit, my guy. Yeah, man. Hey, this guy's the toppest of top gooners, man. You wouldn't see it, you won't get it at first, but he's a top gooner. Or our Arsenal fans comparing Ethan to Hazard. You lot compare Henry to Salah, and it doesn't matter what Salah's done. You lot know in your heart you're chatting shit. It's like, what are you all about? You lot still on about Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones. Marcel, do not forget when you was gassing up Fabio Carvalho, you know. Don't think I forgot that, you know. Please stay out of this, mate. This is an Arsenal-related chat. I'm joking. He's on mod. No one's going to remember Icefield. He weren't lit, man. Arteta's going to get the football manager jinx trait if we don't win. And I would say, no, on a serious note, yeah, of course you can contextualize things, but I do think Arteta has an issue getting things over the line. I think Arsenal as a whole team has an issue getting over the line. Obviously, there's been times we've done it, but when it's crunch time in games, when it's just time to do this thing, unfortunately, people, I genuinely believe that when it's sink or swim, pardon me, we sink. I do think that. Like, I genuinely do think that. I do think that. And I want that to stop. Either of Saka or Ethan could play both sides. Game IQ and talents are insane on these boys. How much do you lot I reckon we've saved 100, give or take, 80, 90, 100 million on Lewis Skelly and Ethan. And I say that because what would you rate both of their values at? Probably 40, 50 million at this moment in time and rising. That's why I don't think we sign a winger, you know. We all know if we were to sign a winger, it's probably going to be someone that's going to play on the left more than the right. Like, that's probably why, I know he can play everywhere, but that's probably why we're not going to get Rafinha anyways. But, well, Arteta did want him, so I wonder how that would have changed things. But that's probably why we're not going to get, in my opinion, a Rafinha or a Kudus and all of those things. But if Ethan keeps developing and he's shown that, yeah, the left wing might not be his strongest kind of role per se, but they might say, you know what, he can play on the left, he can play on the right. We've saved a few quid. Maybe we just focus on a striker and a centre midfielder or any other areas. I don't know, man. I really don't know, man. Oh, man. Marcel's a troll, man. Big him up, though, man. He's always there. Merino's second goal was well taken. Good positioning. I'm not going to lie, I don't think Kai Havertz would have scored that, people. I'll be honest. I'm not trying to get at Kai. I genuinely don't. Just the way he took it. Just the way he took it. Better than Balogun, so 45-50 each. Yamal has a 1 billion release clause. I refuse those prizes. Yeah, but that's because PSG tried to buy him for 200 odd mil. Yamal, listen, Yamal's a bigger dog than Ethan, with the greatest of respect. I know they're both 17. You lot that want to do that, you can do that. Yamal is gonna win Ballon d'Or. Ethan's gonna be talented. I don't think he's gonna be in them conversations. Yamal, I'm not saying Ethan is. This don't apply to Ethan. There's something different with that Yamal guy, man. Every now and again, you get them industry plants. You're born to play football, man. Like Yamal's thing is different. And also, that's before speaking about the Euros. Ethan ain't got that on his CV. If Bournemouth performs well this season, there's no way they'll sell Semenyo. You know, you'd imagine they want to hold on to their players, but it's the evolution of life, unfortunately. Like, no matter how good Bournemouth do, man are still going to want to upgrade. It's just like us. One day, we've seen it generally, but like Saliba's going to go Real Madrid. It's the food chain. Like, it is what it is. It's going to happen. Where it's difficult to prize these players is because these players are earning decent wages. Maybe not so much at the bigger clubs, but they're earning decent wages. TV rights means everyone's got money. Like you mentioned, Bournemouth. I'm sure for Zanolio, Bournemouth and AC Milan will go in toe-to-toe for a player. In my 29 years, did I ever think that would be a thing? Respectfully, Bournemouth and AC Milan. So that tells you the riches of the Prem, which are going to get richer, and the riches of the other leagues. Like, I do think they'll sell Semenyo, but then you're talking 50, 60, whether he's worth it or not. What's their left back? Kirkes, he's going to be on the market. I wouldn't quite say the same for Clivert, but he's going to be on the market. Their damn manager might even be on the market. You know, Brighton, TV rights, and obviously selling well. You know, they made money on McAllister, profit. Not well, to be fair, McAllister was 35 million, so it weren't the most eye-catching, but they made a handsome profit on him, on Caicedo, on Benjamin White through their academy, which is 100% profit, 50 million off the back of one season, Cucurella, etc. They're in a position now, and I thank the Lord that they rejected that 90 million pound bid for Mitoma, because we saw how he twisted up Chelsea. But bro, man are rejecting 90 million. 90 million. Whether Mitoma wanted to go or not, I don't know, but 90 million. When did we win? We don't get no 90 million offers. It's crazy where the football's going, and the riches are going to get richer. I promise you the Super League isn't gone anywhere. And we will see that again if you don't think the Champions League is one. And I promise you the European teams will jump at it. Real Madrid will jump at it. Not that they need it. Barca will jump at it. La Liga's dying. Obviously, it's still a good league and whatnot. But there was a time, like, I assume the majority of us are Arsenal fans. Marcel's a Liverpool fan. It don't matter what team you support. You knew when El Clasico was on. You knew you was watching that. And it was, for everybody, one of the most important games of the season. No one don't care about El Clasico like that again. Yeah, I'm not saying you won't watch it. There's obviously Vinicius, Bellingham, Yamal, this one, that one, but it's not, you can just watch the highlights. The Premier League teams are getting richer, and Championship, League One sides. Are you seeing some of the transfer fees? Oh, hey, it's a madness. Yeah, I thought Bielik was going to come true, but I don't know what happened to him, man. Ethan will save us 100 million, but do you spend more on wingers to start? Yeah, man. I think we need, for me, you know me, D, man. Striker, left wing, Ethan in and amongst it. Saka doing what he's doing. Kai, Trossard. Well, you know what? If we sign a winger, you could argue with Ethan's emergence, Trossard might leave. But Kai Havertz, Trossard, Martinelli, if you lot are playing out of your skin, you deserve to start, but you're in the mix. We need to, like, Kai Havertz is a good player for the squad at best, respectfully to him. We all know he's not, in this current climate, he's a starter, but he's not a starter. Like, we need to start putting people in the positions, even though Lewis Skelly and Ethan are doing well, and it's a bit different. Bro, you are young players trying to learn your craft that should be getting occasional starts in an ideal world and playing and thriving and doing the Rico Lewis kind of thing. You're being played into the ground, man. How many times are we going to keep doing the same things and expect different results, man? I don't know, man. I'm just a fan, though, man. That E-Gal stream was mad. Don't know how you didn't cuss at him. Bro, big up E-Gal, man. That's my guy. Listen, everyone's allowed their opinions, man. Whether you believe in this one, that one, life will be boring if all different, man. I always say I don't tell you what to think. And for me, it's all about, as long as, and I only get people on my platform, that as long as I can have a conversation and see why you're saying what you're saying, fair enough, innit? Big up E-Gal, man. Super League is the Premier League. That's why the European teams want a Super League. It's already here. It's just a battle for income ownership. I hear that. Also on Ethan, as much as Arteta is coaching him, there's only so much coaching that grows into greatness. Greatness really can't be coached that much, so Arteta will have an issue regardless. Facts. Facts. The skill we need is to spot the potential on players like Semenyo, Kirkes, Mitoma, Elise, Rogers before they start paying inflated fees. Afterwards, it's an issue. You can see the video on my YouTube channel, man. Morgan Rogers should be at Arsenal. The first time I ever knew what a Morgan Rogers was, under 18s, Arsenal played West Brom. He was moving mad. Kind of what he's doing now. And he was strong. He's moving to everyone. So yeah, man. The Super League is the new Champions League format. 100%. That shouldn't be an unpopular opinion. And like it says here, players and managers are taking lower tier jobs to get into the Prem. And it's only going to get worse. And I do feel a bit at Arsenal that we're still, not that we should change our morals or our principles or how we go about things, right? But it's like we're trying to do one thing. Everyone else is doing something different around us in their own ways, but something different. How long before we become villains? How much times are you going to be that nice, whether it's winning leagues, whether it's about being gentlemen, whatever? Because we've always been that club. You know, I'm going to have Kenny Ken on Wednesday. If you look, check the last stream, he said the same thing. And he's been on this earth, big up unks. He's been here longer than me. At some point, if you're in school and you're getting bullied, it's not a good example, but you're getting bullied, people are beating you up and whatnot. And you're saying, please stop, please don't do this. You're doing the victim thing. How long before you become the villain? How long before you hit someone back? That's kind of where I want with my club. And I feel that's actually happened with the fact that we're nasty now. People, the league don't like it. It's not the fact that we do dark arts. None of that is an issue. It's the fact that we do it. And that's why I try not to take it to heart, man, whether it's the fine things we're seeing, you know, celebration police are applauding, nothing to do with Everton, but applauding Everton and condemning us. Football fans call us victims. Don't get it twisted. I do think some Arsenal fans have a victim's mindset, but you're calling us crazy for the balanced ones, crazy for question marking Michael Oliver and all of these guys. And then when your team's getting shagged, you want to say it's a conspiracy and you can see it now. Hold that. Sebastian Larson. I big up Sebastian Larson, man. Some of you remember the Fabrice from Rambo streams. He's got stories for Seb Larson and Bentner for days, you know, for days, bro. Mad, I miss Yard, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I'm still here, but yeah, you did. What minute would that have been at? Scroll back 46 minutes, man. First hour. What do you think of the Freedom Sancho comment? What's that? That must be something. I don't know, man. I lie, man. Big up a gal in the circle. I must have missed that. What's that? We went Ollie Watkins. Nah, man, we need you to stay live or active. Appreciate that, man. Make sure you're following Fams on TV. And Marcel, you're a Liverpool fan, man. There's Liverpool content over there. We went Ollie Watkins instead of Nathan. Guess we couldn't compete with that Saudi League money. I'm hoping we go mad for Isaac in the summer. If Newcastle don't get Champions League, we can get him. Isaac's a man a bit like Declan Rice, yeah. I'll believe it when I see it. I didn't think we'd get that. Well, to be fair, I didn't think we'd sign Mesut Ozil. I didn't think we'd sign Aubameyang. I didn't believe Alexis Sanchez until I saw a video. He's wearing a denim shirt. So, yeah, I didn't believe in bare things, and it happened, didn't it? Sancho said when Rashford moved to Villa, freedom. That tells you everything, innit? That tells you what it doesn't tell you a lot, but it tells you everything, innit? It tells you how they view Man United. It tells you how they view the current manager, maybe even the old manager. It tells you everything. Well, Sancho couldn't be Amarin. He didn't leave. He wasn't there when Amarin's there. It tells you everything. What I would say is it opens you up for criticism because Sancho, now people are going to get onto you. We're doing the groundwork like we did for Rice now, DJ. I hope so. 100%, but there's not many teams with our project. Is that with defo come, but it's the price. Last bit of that sentence, D, man. It's the price, bro. And you know our club. I'm not saying we won't do it, but it's got to make sense. Like, you know yourself, we're not just going to bid 100 million. Like, we might have 100 million in different terms to what Newcastle's on. I think the only thing that would make me a lot more optimistic is if Isaac does something I don't think he's going to do. And that is like, I mean, why would you burn bridges? I think just burn bridges and I don't know, like not go train, not now, but like not go training, not do this, not do that. He'd have to do his part. And if I was Isaac, I'd more want to sit down with Newcastle and say, yo, I want to cut out. But if you was Isaac, would you want to cut now? Especially if you get Champions League football. And they're going to move tooth and nail to get him to sign a new deal. He might go for it as well, especially if there's a release clause or a gentleman's agreement and all of that kind of jazz that they come out with. And where would he go? Because we know he's linked with Arsenal, but are Arsenal going to push the ball out? He's linked with Barcelona. We know they can cook the books, But are they? He's linked with Liverpool. I don't. It would be a cheat code if they somehow keep Salah and have Isaac. But I'd reckon even Liverpool fans would be quite pessimistic about FFG even considering doing that. So then, you know, he's linked with Real Madrid as well every now and again. Respectfully to Isaac, you're the least of their worries at this moment. They're more onto Saliba and things like that. I think if we throw 120 million at Newcastle, we get him. I hope so, man. But again, we're going to tie up that 100 million in a way that makes sense. It's probably going to be 20 million in bonuses. And we got to remember that it's one thing doing all of that. You still got to go and get Zubamendi. So that's 50 odd million for a centre mid. You still got to go and get Nico Williams or a left winger. So you need about 50 million to play around with. And you're looking at 300 odd million. We still got to undertake their wages. We obviously still got to renew 1-2 contracts here. We know the players that need to be sold, but we don't 100% know that we're going to be able to sell. I wouldn't sell him, but Tomiyasu, Zini, Kivior, Fabio Vieira. Well, you can forget about selling Gabriel Jesus. I don't know if we're going to do all of that. And with Nico Williams going to be on big P's. Isaac is going to be on big P's. The new contract dons are going to be on big P's. You still got Kai Havertz. I'm not saying it can't happen and we're broke, but from what we've seen is believing, I guess, man. Only hope is Newcastle getting done with PSR because they finished outside the champs. Basically, Aston Villa's position last transfer window. DG, we got to be aware the biggest dogs in the yard are looking at our centre-backs. I hear it. Who would you choose? Who would you choose? Zubamendi and Semenyo or Isaac alone? Isaac still. Isaac, man. Isaac, man. Because that's a man that on his back can turn, pause, definitely not. Can turn a couple of draws into victories, a couple of defeats into draws. But then we still need to address centre mid, man. But maybe you could get away with it. I'd hold my hands up if we gave Partey a new deal and he gets injured and whatnot. But could you get away with, in that case, could you get away with Partey staying for another year? Maybe, you know, give Lewis Skelly, when the time's right, chances in midfield. Be a bit, you know, I don't want to see Kai in midfield, but play it by ear in that regards. I'm having that, man. I'm having Isaac alone. I'm having that. Bro, Ethan emerging. Saka doing his thing. Odegaard link up with Isaac. I know Odegaard's the least of what people want to hear. I'm on that, man. Okay, how about Zubamendi, Semenyo, Williams, or Isaac? Isaac still. I know it's mad. Isaac, bro. Number 14. Isaac, Saka, and a half-decent left winger. Whether Ethan wants to grab that, whether Martinelli, Trossard, even Jesus when he's fit, whether they want to grab that, we could be lit, you know. We could be lit. I take just Isaac and utilize more academy and low-key signings through scouting. Isaac is a problem solver for us, but we're sorted. I would sell Kivior, Martinelli, Havertz, Jesus, and Zini. Kivior might have a market. Kivior's a market. Martinelli, I don't think we're going to move on. Havertz, you're not going to move on. Wages. Jesus got an ACL. There's no way that's happening. Zini's probably someone that's going to be moved on. So you think Isaac is the final piece? I get it. Nah, man, there's final pieces. He would be one of the final pieces. You would still need to, for me, I'd be a lot happier as an Arsenal fan if I see a striker, a long-term Declan Rice partner, and a left winger rock up. Pardon me, as a minimum. Then I think it's a case of depth. Then obviously fine-tune, as we all know. The people that need the new deals, give them the new deals. The people that need to leave. But we all know we're not going to bring in everything and sell everything in one window. We could still move Odegaard next to Rice and Isaac up front, would solve a lot of problems in the 11. That's a world-class attack and defense instantly with Isaac. Bro, is it our defense? Brother. Imagine, on top of all the positives at our club, if we had Isaac. We still need a lot more. I don't think Isaac alone wins us a Premier League trophy, but we'd be a lot more confident, man. MLS, Saka, Ethan, Smith-Rowe, and Nketiah, Balogun, Beref, Willock, Hutchinson, Patino, the academy been doing okay. I hear it. The level of football has decreased massively. It's just sad. It's all tactics, all about the money. Unpopular opinion. I believe that and I don't believe that. And why I would say I believe that is because I do believe that. I don't think the technical level is quite there. I don't enjoy football games. But then I flip that. If it is more system-based, if we do waffle a bit more about fine margins, if there's a lot more emphasis on being an athlete and everything that comes with being an athlete, what you eat, nutrition, they're all playing a lot more games than that. You could argue the amount of games is affecting the quality, but Could you argue that football's never been better than it is now? I don't agree with that because I don't really think I think striker market's dead. I don't feel there's any technically exquisite players. I think a lot of that is because again, it's about the system first and then the individuals and all of that. But yeah, man, is it surely that's a nostalgic thing? And I'm questioning my own logic as well. Any of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Nelly might be sold as well as Kvyat. Have to see. All depends on offers. Nah, man, we ain't selling no Timber. You just got your feet through the door. Nelly, I think the club will be open to a mad offer, but who's coming with mad offers? Saliba, we all know he's going to play for Real Madrid one day. Gabriel, I don't know if Real Madrid made Gabriel an offer. He's got an offer. He's got something to concede. Like I think he's happy in London, but there was a time when he's going to go Saudi. Gabriel's 27 as well. Like if I was Real Madrid, maybe I'm projecting because I'm an Arsenal fan. Saliba in it, but they might say, no, Gabriel's ready. He's 22, he's 27. And Gabriel might say, boy, not only is it Real Madrid, well, I'm not getting any younger. And never realized how good Isak was until we played them 3 times this season. He's so much better than I even knew. And he scores against every team and defender. For me, I'm a bit like, obviously saw a bit of him for Sweden, Sociedad, and now the physical demands he's come on, man. I said Timber in the forest. Yeah, we ain't getting rid of it. I don't really, none of them defenders, like the proper defenders, the Lewis Kellys, the Calafiores, the Benjamin Whites, the Gabriels, the Salibas. There might be a one man I miss Timber if I haven't said that. I would put an asterisk next to Tomiyasu because I love the guy, but he can't stay fit. We need to keep all of them at least for a year or two. The Zinnies, I don't mind Kvyat staying if he wants to sit on the bench, but equally there could be a money maker there. He seems to always be linked with Italian clubs, and he might want to go play first team football because if Lewis Kelly weren't a thing, you might have got a little run at left back like you saw last season. So yeah, if he wants to be a body, because I think we need bodies, great, but I'd move him on. Keen to see Fabio Vieira technically got an assist in his last game for Porto. Keen to see what we do with him. And bro, the Fabio Vieira's, Lokonga's. It's one thing saying sell the players. It's another thing having the market. And I'd say last summer, to a degree, was a step in the right direction in terms of outgoings. But we ain't really been that good of a selling club in recent years, have we? Yeah, Tommy. The best trait you could have is being available, man. I love Tomiyasu, and I'm sure you've all been here. There's been several times where we've sat there and gone, wow, what if we had Tommy on the bench? Tommy could have started. It's like you in your 9 to 5, innit? Don't matter how good you are at your job. If you never log into your laptop or you're never entering the place of work, that really makes sense. Magalhaes is like 105M. Saliba is like 120. I remember Gnabry versus Chelsea, FA Youth Cup. Man was playing against Chelsea by himself and keeping Arsenal in it. Criminal, we sold him. Do you know when I knew, and I think I said it on YouTube, that actually, funny enough, Gnabry and Wilshere leaving kickstarted this whole YouTube stuff, innit? But I knew Gnabry weren't going to make it here because there's been a couple of times Wenger's been smoking budge, innit? Like, you went West Brom for no reason. I knew you weren't going to make it here. If you remember, Germany wanted him to go and play for Germany in the Olympics. Nigeria wanted Iwobi to do stuff, and this typically falls at the start of the season, whenever that was. Wenger said, Gnabry, you can go. He didn't say Iwobi could go. So that told me Iwobi's part of the plans, you're not. And obviously Wenger did say we're getting zanged because he went to one German club and then Bayern bought him and the rest is history. We got bumped. Absolutely bumped. Tomiyasu has to go, but only when he's fit first. We're not Chelsea. It's not at any cost. These are human beings and injuries are a bad time mentally for players. Hey, Fam's on TV, top Gooner. I must admit, and I hope I'm wrong because I don't know anything. I think injuries are a point in Tomiyasu, but I think it's, or maybe I'm wrong. I'm starting to think it's something where there's something in the behind the scenes, like there's something personal going on, which I hope is not the case. I hope you're just injured. I don't want, we don't even need to think of examples. I just hope there's nothing in that. And even when he got his new deal, like he essentially only signed a 1-year extension plus another option. And that's purely for me, in my opinion, because you can't stay fit. Like I love Tommy, man. Centre back, left back, right back. You're clearly a good guy in the team. We need numbers. I just don't know where you're at in the pecking order now. Because left back, I mean, it's reactionary bias. We can never forget the way he locked down Salah on that left hand side. But Lewis Kelly's ahead of you, Calafiori ahead of you. Maybe Timber at left back, if we have to be a bit cute and clever, is ahead of you. Right back, Ben White and Timber ahead of you. Centre half, obviously there's not many, but you're not playing unless there's Saliba and Gabriel. But you can help us close out. I got a lot of time for Tommy. I really do. I find, obviously, I'm a bit of a top Gooner as well to a degree. It's like, where I look at the Hale, you know, Wenger was so big on building that Hale end, and you're seeing the players that have come through. He paid off the stadium, the French little link ups with Saliba. Obviously, Wenger's got a link with Japan, Tommy there. I'm looking at romantic things that there's no reason for it to be this romantic in it, but yeah, man, that's that. I got a lot of time for Tommy, man. Tommy was a gem that Arteta wasn't able to show. The man just can't stay fit, man. The man just can't stay fit, man. It's so unfortunate. First time finding your channel, big up yourself. Aaron Lewis, big up yourself, man. DG, the Germans were also in the media saying Wenger must play Gnabry or sell him. German media had a playbook for the play. He should have been playing him, bro. He's hanged him, bro. Like, I love Arsene Wenger, but you were smoking special stuff towards the end, man. And I think, well, not necessarily to do with Gnabry, but beyond the obvious, I think Wenger had a hard time differentiating himself on the best of days, but I'd say definitely towards the end when I look at, there was one time he gave El Nene a new deal and all that. He found it hard, in my opinion, to make the best decision for Arsenal versus Wenger. Like, I think you're not giving man new deals because it's the best for Arsenal. I think you're doing it because we all know how Wenger operated. Just saying the club is restricted financially, might not turn down crazy offers for anyone. A lot of business to be done and no cash. Apparently, we got cash. Obviously, everyone's got an offer in. Everyone's got a price tag, but there's a couple of players I'm not trying to hear no offers for, unless Saliba says I ain't signing a new deal. Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Lewis Skelly, Ethan, Bakayo, Rice by default. I know he's not the flavor of the month, but Martin Odegaard. I might be missing 1-2 players. Other than that, I think it's debatable. Don't shoot me, people. Martinelli. I know. But at the end of the day, Martinelli's my guy. I know, people. I know. Martinelli's my guy. I know. His form's on the floor. You can be part of the squad, man. You need to be here. I can't lie, man. I want to go for Mbeumo. He's contracted until 2026. I disagree with you, DG. Wenger brought the best. I didn't say he didn't bring the best. Wenger did not buy the best. The whole world knows Wenger and us gems. Is that priority? Aaron, Mbeumo, Semenyo. I mean, for me, and to be honest, I don't know if Mbeumo's... I know he can play off the left, but I know for a fact you can play up front and on the right. Mbeumo's contracted until 2026. Thomas Frank came out the other day and said he had offers in the summer. He chose to stay. He ain't signed a new deal right now. I don't think... I mean, it would be... First choice would be Isaac and Mbeumo. Probably more likely to be Sesko and Mbeumo. Mbeumo on that left, Saka on that right. Hopefully Isaac, but Sesko through the middle. Semenyo's better than Mbeumo. I don't know. I fuck with Semenyo. I think Mbeumo's better than him, man. I can't lie to you. I think Mbeumo's wavy. I think the world of Mbeumo, man. Mbeumo's done it for a couple of years, maybe even 3. I don't know. Semenyo just come to this thing. Semenyo suits our game better and offers pace and power. Mbeumo suits our game. He offers that. He's great on the transition. D, you're defo Semenyo's agent, man. And Mbeumo got X Factor as well, though, man. And he's a live wire. Get me Sesko, Hato, Zubamendi, Napan, and Jonathan David. Igatike is finally finding his feet. You lot know I rated him before he went PSG. I kind of went off the boil. It's got to be an option, bro. You're defo Semenyo's. The way you're selling, do you know what? One thing I would say, to be fair, I'm having Semenyo, and obviously technically spent time at Arsenal. And I think sometimes when your career hasn't, you know, when you've had a bit of adversity, like he didn't have a conventional route into being a footballer, he done the non-league thing, whatever you've done, I remember Chelsea wanted you years ago. I'm sure you was at Bristol. Chelsea wanted you years ago. I'm sure you're playing through the middle. I definitely weren't rating you how I'm rating you now. I can't say I saw the light, but when you've come through those lower leagues, and now you're in the first team, maybe it's a bit different. Like, maybe it's a bit different than if your career is just, yeah, I'm sure you lot know what I'm referring to. Semenyo, twice as good as Mbeumo. I don't know, man. I need to look at and see what Semenyo's doing. I have to be that guy. Stats don't matter unless we've got to push agendas. He's contracted until 2029. To be fair, he is 25. Like I said, I'm all right. Yeah, I weren't making this up. He was at Bristol. Let's look at the data, man. Let's look at the data still. Let's look at the data. Can't argue with data, surely. Let's look at the data, man. Like, let's rise up. And Mbeumo's 25 as well. When is Semenyo's birthday? 7th of Jan. So Semenyo's even young. And Buemo's younger. Look, contracted until 2026. But your boy's not talking to man. 14 goals in 25 games. Come on, man. The only thing you can even play in the support striker role. Can play off the left, man. But then again, 64 goals, 45 assists in 229 games. They don't sound that wavy, man. 36 goals, 24 assists in 123 games. I don't want to be that guy, but Cameroon, AFCON, you might go missing. He's a big game player as well. He scored in big games. I'm saying things and not looking at the day, admittedly. What big games have you done something in, please? Oh, I thought that was Liverpool. He scored against Arsenal. That's a big game. Chelsea, big game. For this, Spurs, big game. And then you got Semenyo. 7 goals and that. 7 goals and that. I don't know, man. I don't know. 9 goals in all comps, 7 goals and that. I don't know, man. Let's see last season. Maybe this is his, what they call it again, breakout season. 8 goals. But Martinelli and Trossard get killed for that, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. And Mbuemo's a killer on the transition. Look, 2022, 23. To be fair, he's been consistent in that, you know. And Mbuemo, don't let me down. Because I ain't got your... I really don't know your stats. What did you do in 23, 24? Barely, man, he got 14 this year. Come on, then, Mbuemo. I'm trying to sell you here, man. Nine goals, 6 assists. That's a better minutes to goal ratio. I'm shameless. Let's see 2022, 23. I think he's more attainable as well, man. He's contracted until 2026. Semenyo's got an extra 3 years on that. I think Semenyo would is more likely to kick up a fuss. 9 goals. He's 30, man. Now, Mbuemo has an eye for goal like Bowen, but Semenyo is a star and takes over games. I hear it. But we've seen man that, as dumb as it sounds, yeah, man that just score goals that I talked about being world class. I think Semenyo's cold, but the world class shout, I don't know. Why is this freezing? It seems a bit stuck. I can't take the comments off the screen. I've got to manipulate stats, man. You're selling it well. You're selling it well, man. You're selling it well. Mbuemo can play right wing, left wing. To be fair, though, I don't know if Mbuemo can play off the left. I can't recall him playing off the left. Semenyo, to be fair, I can say he can play across the front three. I just think we've got half a chance more at Mbuemo, man. Because surely Brentford are going to say, yo, you've got to go sign a new deal. And I know nobody talks about Ivan Toney anymore. Who's better, Bowen or Mbuemo? Define what that means, though, because Bowen has unique qualities, as does Mbuemo. Like, they're two very unique talents, very different. I don't know. My bias is actually to say Bowen, you know. It's actually to say Bowen. But I don't think Bowen's been as lit. And that's, to be fair, Bowen's another one we could have bought in the championship. I'm going to say Mbuemo, man. But Bowen's cold as well, man. I just think the Bowen thing's dead because obviously he can play up front, but he's going to really want to play off the right, innit? And for obvious reasons. Nah, it's a myth. Semenyo used to play for the local at 18. He was on loan and could see that he'd go to the top. And that's the funny thing, man, in that, you know, imagine if you was the agent of Harry Kane when he was about 18, 19, Mikel Antonio, Semenyo. On the face of it, these guys, they weren't any, well, they didn't have the convention. They're not doing what Ethan and Lewis Kelly are doing. 17, you're playing first team football. But they've gone up the gears. That's why I say you never, I'm always wary of writing people off. DJ, I'd take Minta from Brighton at Arsenal at least as an option. Funny enough, you know, when I went to Brighton versus Arsenal at the Emirates, he left the media he came out through the media exit. And at the time, I didn't know who he was, you know. Like, I was looking at him. I was like, well, you're a Brighton player. And then he was just getting, you know, he's a very humble guy. There was a lot of Arsenal fans and Brighton fans. He took forever. Like, he's standing like where my hand is. Like, I didn't get a picture. I probably should have. I thought, you know, name brand enough yet. But he stood there and took pictures with the little kids, the fans that signed everything. Arsenal fans as well. Very humble guy, man. I said after that, because I like footballers who don't forget where they come from. I'm here for that. Bowen is better than Mbuemo, but he's not better than Semenyo. Semenyo is bow-footed like you've ever seen, and there's an X Factor. Stop saying this X Factor thing, man. Bow-footed sells me though. He's a baller. He's in a great bit of form. But the X Factor, and Buemo's got X Factor, man. We've seen him mash up Arsenal. Mintai way too erratic. Coach it out of him though, man. Went to every game. Him and Ben White played in the same Newport team at 18. Both was a class above everyone in that league. You know what? Because of the Ben White thing, bring Semenyo, man. Jonathan David is right there. We've got Semenyo's agent here. We definitely got Jonathan David's agent here. All I'm saying is tell me how I can do my part. Let me collect my little 1%, people. I'm sure you lot are tired of hearing my voice though, man. We've been here for 2 hours or so. I got curry goat downstairs. I'm going to go yam that. As usual, big up you lot, people. It's been a big shift in terms of content. Back tomorrow, I think I'm going to have Jess at some point. I'm going to have Sammy at some point. And if there's anything Arsenal related, we're there, man. But yeah, man. I'm sure some of you are watching this with your gal. I'm sure your girl's giving you the nudge. I'm sure it's beauty rubber clock. So yeah, man, you lot stay safe, stay blessed. Big up you lot. Make sure you're hitting the like button. You're subscribing. You can see Fam Zone TV in the chat. Show the people them some love. Peace.
Always